Look at that. Hey, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. How the heck are you? Yeah, this is the open chat, and hopefully we are not going to have too many technical difficulties, and we'll see what's up. And alrighty, so we have the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. Hello, my dear. How are you?
Oh, I suppose I'm all right. It's been a very dull day. There hasn't been a lot to do, and I don't know. I mean, I have been feeling lazy. I had to set up a lot of my computer system today because, well, I said I'd tell you about this in the green room, except I'm going to tell you about it here instead. In shipping, one of my computers got damaged. The entire back panel got bent. It was like literally bowed inward kind of thing, and the graphics card had gotten unseated from the motherboard, and it took a lot of gymnastics to get it back in place so I could even see if it worked anymore, which thankfully it does. But now I'm faced with the additional challenge of trying to hook it up to the network, because unlike my new machines, it doesn't have Wi-Fi built in, right?
No.
And the modem is way the hell over there, so I
darn it, it came apart.
long ass 60-foot Ethernet cable to be able to hook it up without it going like across my living room floor. So, but I mean, other than that, it's been decent. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4, but I found by the end of the game, it got really annoying. So this time around, I started over and just went around killing shit and leveling up. And also reading that X-Men omnibus, because I finally bought it.
Oh, yay.
Been enjoying that?
Yeah, although I gotta say, it's dated and corny as hell.
Oh, it's definitely dated.
And no, I'm not in a car park. This is my living room.
Alright, so now we're going to put this over here, and then we're going to try to get rid of the echo.
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got here. I still have to get a set of headphones that work with this damn machine. Okay, settings. Okay. Where are we?
Oh, I've been pretty busy today. I've got my next video in the can for my gardening channel, and I was getting footage for the one after that.
Wait, the what channel?
My gardening channel. I started a new gardening channel.
Oh, gardening! Okay, so
Yeah.
it blended together and it sounded like grinding, and I didn't.
Yes,
feel
a
like-
grinding channel.
Sounds
Okay,
like
now maybe it'll work.
oh, that's because there's an echo.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to get rid of that.
Echo.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. Like I made a like. People thought I meant like Swiss yodeling or country music yodeling, because I didn't mean that like the fucking I can't do it. You know that weird. Like, hey, look, I'm in Appalachia kind of yodeling. I was really thinking more like the Swiss Alps and, making an echo. Yeah, that one. Let's face it, that's, like opera is that for snooty people.
all right then. This thing's
Tell
not
me I'm
showing
wrong.
me. This thing's not showing me headset. I want it to show me headset.
I'm sure it didn't say headphones.
It says communications. It says spakers. It says digital audio. And then it says spakers and spakers.
Try the digital audio and see what happens.
And no, it's not doing anything good. Okay, what is that? It's not doing anything, right?
Well, I don't know.
Oh
No
no,
one's
it's
speaking. Let
it's
us know
doing
when you click the
something.
thing.
I know. I'm trying to do something, people, and it's not letting me because it's a piece of shit.
Have you tried a wired connection with those headphones?
This is what I'm trying for. It's a cable that's going into. Okay, wait a minute. Let me try over here and see if this helps. Okay.
Does it? I'm not
Okay, there
seeing
we
your
go.
V-
There we go.
I'm
Now
not
it's
seeing your VU meter like lying when I speak.
now it's doing Hey ad pajones.
Mm-hmm. Maybe your headphones are out of batteries and that's why they can't do the whatcha thing.
Okay. Private chat. That's the headset I've got. If you want to get a replacement,
Das
$24 right now.
da patrota pala kapatayan tayaka ni mina.
I've seen
So
it fluctuate between 16 to 25. So
this had better have fixticated it.
I really wish Windows would let me have access to the camera controls so I could set things
Yep, that sounds better.
exposure and all that. I don't know why it doesn't.
okay, stop touching anything. It sounds good now.
Shona
Especially
korase.
yourself.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I'll be right back. I gotta grab a tissue.
What's this about not touching yourself?
I don't know. Oh, that's so grody.
De petrodo palikise.
Well, you ever have some? Well, I'm not gonna talk about snot. Never mind.
Aw.
Well, okay. You ever have something that coats the inside of your nose and it just sort of conforms to it, and then when you blow your nose, it kind of gets stuck?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I actually woke up with that one morning because it cut off my breathing, and that woke me up. Kind of weird.
Oh, I suppose I should go into the bedroom and turn off the laptop that's running in there. I see that Minnow can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear that. I was wondering
Okay,
what that was.
we'll get that fixticated. Oh my, okay, so this is. I don't want to take it off my head because I'm afraid I'll break it again, but I'll fixticate this sort of thing.
So I've got this extraordinarily obnoxious neighbor, like downstairs, who apparently she has a rep in this building for complaining, so there's that. But number two, just because she bitched about it, I have my subwoofer now up on a stand with foam under it, so that maybe it won't vibrate the whole floor. But let's face it, I like to watch a lot of movies, I like to play a lot of video games, and I want to feel the kabooms, damn it.
The earth-shattering kaboom.
Well, seriously though, it's like there are some really cool nuke effects in Fallout 4, and they tend to be a bit window rattly, so what you gonna do?
It is the Akfu. And then, okay, red vignettes. Let me get the sweet stuff.
Ooh, sweet stuff.
But then on the other hand, I would keep the wax and melt it down. Bugs and floss and swish it around.
So yeah.
I'd have me a crop and it'd be on top.
Been eating those like candy.
Candy is yummy and tasty.
I don't think I have Oblivion. I have Skyrim. Is that similar? I don't know. I've heard the term Oblivion, the game, the title. Not sure I've ever really looked into it. Oh, look, Harmonica Man's here.
Oh, yay! That is the
so
Ugg and the Foo and the Boo and the Goo.
There's that. Figure when this show's over, I'll be like hungry for real food. I have Italian, like I have, what is it, chunky garlic and onion marinara sauce. I've got like teriyaki and soy sauce. I don't think I'll use all of those together. Got a little beef, some vegetables, make a stir fry. I've gotten pretty good now at flipping the skillet, right? It looks so impressive when you see it done, and it's surprising how freaking easy it is.
Seems we have that echo back.
Oh man.
That's because the headset is unplugged because I'm over here heating up the coffee.
Oh. Is this really the right time for caffeine? It's 7 in the p.m.
Oh, I broke down and bought some diet coffee.
Diet coffee, so decaf?
Yeah.
Why would you drink that stuff?
Yeah, there's no point. I mean, coffee is nasty. The only reason I drink it is for the caffeine rush. Might as well at that point just have some Red Bull.
Okay.
I posted that image of me imitating Eddie Munson like that, and of course Stool had to comment. He's like, "How the hell do you fit that tongue in your mouth?" And I'm like, "Lesbian, dude." But who knows? I mean, I am adopted. For all I know, like Steven Tyler is my dad, or not Steven Tyler. What the fuck? Who's the guy named Kiss? Gene Simmons. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, just put another filter in that thing and advisory label, you got another album.
Chaduko?
You know.
Snada beligenda jägeresi parako.
I've got lots of tongue muscles. I have.
Naya karasta. Okay. Now this is to introduce to plugging to making. There it goes. And okay, there it goes. It's saying things through the headset.
It's weird to me that they keep making like candy into a chewy version. Like everything that used to be sort of a more hard candy it now has like a chewy version. Why?
They're not always better either.
Well, I want to know whatever happened to rock candy. I don't see it anywhere anymore.
Yeah, most candy is cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I found it, but you have to go to a full-on candy shop, not just a supermarket.
Okay then.
I've made rock candy before.
I tried to make rock candy and it really didn't go well.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
number one, I wasn't patient enough to let it actually happen, but number two, it didn't cling to the little string. It just didn't.
Yeah, but were you using monofilament fishing line?
No. Actually, it's funny. The places I've found rock candy, it wasn't on a string. It was actually on like a big old stick with a knob on the bottom of it. And it was like
Yeah,
that,
I've seen
it was
that.
this big old cluster.
I haven't even seen that lately in the last, like 20 years. Um, but I remember there was a local grocer my Bobcat used to go to all the time. Holocheck, it was called. And he had boxes
Oh, you know.
of uh, raw candy on the string.
Mm.
And I think you might get, what, maybe 2 ounces at a time or something like that.
Oh, who's my little kitty? Oh,
Meow.
hey, come on up here and I'll pet you. Of course, Xander will come by and oust you because that's his MO.
Well, I thought those two were getting along a little bit better.
Well,
No.
actually, Xander started like trying to wrestle with her more. But even if he wasn't, when she starts purring, he knows that pettings are happening and he comes running. Oh, come on up, baby. Come on up.
Come on, you
Okay,
damn
Mark.
cat.
Get over here, you. All right, there. You know you wanted to, so here you are.
There you are.
Cat butt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you see those little rings you can put on a cat's tail so it covers their butt?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's like a little ring you put over the cat's tail, and then it has like this little circular plate with like a jewel or something on it. It covers the cat's butt.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, first trip to the litter box, it kind of needs to be thrown away.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently it can like swing forward, so when the cat sits down, it gets out of the way. It looks like. Let me see
It
here.
just seems pointless to me.
Hmm.
I mean, granted, I don't really looking at a cat sphincter anyway, but
Oh my.
oh, look at you. I don't know where your brother is, but see, that's one benefit of this place. It's rather large, and so sometimes Xander is under my bed in my bedroom.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But no.
Cat butt cover.
Besides, I know my cats. If you put something around their tail, they're gonna try to take it off. Ooh, football! Yikes!
Tayo Korostu.
But I don't know. I mean, I was really hoping that if I tied something to Xander's tail, he'd try to run away from it. But no, he was pretty indifferent. Maybe
Oh.
it's something that needs to be like tightened, like a rubber band or something. But I would have thought something that was loose, like a shoelace, would be the one he'd try to go after. Because Xander's favorite toy is this like magenta stretchy shoelace that I took off of shoes that they came with.
Move beef.
Kind of wish I'd taken my shoes off before I started this show, or at least before I put Columbia up on my lap, because the shoes I have now are colorful as fuck. You have no idea. Like, you could see them from orbit. And they're also super, super comfy, too. Like foot pain has been the bane of my existence. I probably have bone spurs. But, seriously, my new shoes feels like you're walking around on like rubber super balls. They're very bouncy and very cushiony, and my feet do not hurt in them, so that's good.
Man, I haven't seen Super Balls in a very, very long time.
Yeah,
Do they even exist anymore?
probably, but I bet you have to go to like a toy store to get them. I remember when you could get them in like one of those machines in the the supermarket. Put in a quarter, turn.
Another question is, do toy stores still exist?
Oh, yeah, sure they do. In fact, I saw an article recently that said Toys R Us is coming back.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And I'm sure
trying.
KB still exists.
Now, which
Although,
is
of course, I'm in Vermont now, so everyone calls it KBs.
scabies?
No KBs.
Uh,
Everything gets like, I'm not sure if we're saying plural or possessive, but everything gets an S on the end of it. You know, it's just weird, but it does. Like I
Yeah.
remember when it was still around, people went to Kmart's.
Yeah, huh?
You
Yeah.
know, Welby drugs became Welbies.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
And then the one I grew up around was Kmark.
That's just stupid.
Yes, it is.
I mean, like, I can see adding a letter, but changing the word entirely, no. Not unless it was a nickname rather than a big old mistake.
And then the people I grew up around were weird, but that's goes without saying. In order to watch an Apollo launch, you needed a passport, according to these people, because you were going to Nassau.
Isn't that the name? Nassau County?
Well, actually, the Cape is in Brevard County, but that's another story entirely.
Well, but the word is Nassau.
Yeah, but not the agency's name.
What agency?
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration is NASA.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of drives me nuts, like Boston and well, honestly, why am I blanking? The upside down, Australia. What the hell's her name again? I'm having like one of those memory moments. You know who I'm talking about.
Well, I know a couple hers out of Australia.
Wanked on camera.
Oh, Polymathic Jen.
No, not Paul.
Oh, and the KB Toys does not exist anymore.
Oh, but anyway, like she was on a show I was on. It might even have been this one, and she kept saying America.
Oh yeah, well that's part of the Australian accent. Yeah.
Yeah, but they also do it in Boston.
Yeah.
It drives me up the wall.
Yep.
I don't know. It was like Louis C.K. had this whole thing where he was like, he grew up in Boston, and for a long time he thought that vaginas were vaginers because that's how they pronounced it, and he was like he thought it was a thing that vagined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had a teacher. I think it was 4th grade, Mr. Mead, who was from there. And like for the longest time, I just could not understand some of the shit he said because he kept putting R's on the end of words that end in A.
Moo.
I don't know. It was weird.
I tell you, when I was in Boston, the accent grated on my nerves. Actually worse than the Pittsburgh accent, which it resembles.
Although I have to admit, I kind of like the New York accent. Italian or Jewish?
What, Brooklyn?
Well, yeah, basically. Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, that
but
one.
And it's weird how the sort of, like Jewish accent is similar but not the same, like the New York Jewish. I like that's the thing is in my family, like dad's side is Italian, mom's side's Jewish. I heard all of it.
Oh, bushy. No, it's been a very long time since I've been around there.
I like from dad's side when it was dinner time, I heard a lot of manja.
Okay then.
Yeah. Didn't hear a lot of what's the matter you, but it did come out once in a while.
Oh, what was the one song? What's the matter? You gotta no respect, something like that.
I don't know that song.
Oh, what do we have? Oh.
What do we have?
We have a minnow. Hello,
Oh.
dear. How
Hello,
are
Manu.
you? How are you?
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Tayo korostu.
It sounds like you're a little loud.
I'm loud.
Oh, well, that was normal.
Oh, okay. I'm using my headphone microphone because the other one is on the fritz. But I've got a new one coming, so we'll see.
It looks like a Martian shock collar from what the heck was it? Robinson Crusoe in space.
Heck yeah, there we go. They
Never-
also had one. When you said Martian shot collar, I thought of the ones on original Star Trek where there was the planet where they were all like slaves and they had the.
Oh, yeah, okay.
there's a movie called Fortress with Christopher Lambert. It came out in like the early 90s. Like the fortress was actually a prison. It was underground. And as punishment, they didn't have shock collars. What they did was they force-fed you these things called intestinators, so that if the guards thought you were getting out of place, they would like intestinate someone, where it would basically cause them all kinds of like gastric distress. It was kind of silly.
Okay, then.
That sounds like extra uncomfortable, though. I would much
Yeah.
rather be shocked than have gastrointestinal distress.
Well, and I mean, it's not like they give you gas; it's just pain. But still, I don't know why, but I find it very funny when people in the movies, usually or on TV, usually comedies, get like tased or something. There's just something about that just makes me laugh. I don't know why.
Okay, okay.
Happened to Barney Stinson on How I Met Your Mother at least twice.
I got zapped my dryer once.
Your dryer with 220?
I took out I was trying to dry my jeans. They weren't drying. I grabbed the jeans and it zapped me, and my arm went limp.
Oops.
Okay, I know they make jokes about peeing on electric fences. My dad knows someone who did, and it's actually not that pleasant, apparently. It caused permanent damage.
Oh, my, oh, my.
Electric fence?
Yeah. I believe it was an accident, but regardless, the guy never really recovered.
Okay,
we used to
then.
grab them with our hands for like as a dare. Like it's not like where it'll like burn you. Like they're just.
I heard about people who would do that where they would all hold hands in a long chain and then one person grabs it.
And it'll zap the last person.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
And everybody in between
grounded.
feels nothing.
That's
You
not what
can-
I heard. I heard everyone in between gets it too.
No.
Didn't MythBusters debunk the whole peeing on an electric fence thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I
watched
wasn't watching by
Mythbusters.
that time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they probably did because there's no way that it could like hurt anybody. Like we licked them. Like if it would have hurt you to pee on it, like it would have hurt me to lick it. Like
Maybe it was cranked a lot higher for this guy. I don't know.
Apparently, the whole issue was the urine was like breaking up into droplets as it was coming down, so it wasn't able to make any kind of connection.
Hmm.
so even if it was cranked super high, yeah, maybe.
One thing that was kind of funny, I got one of those plasma balls because I've wanted one since I was a kid, right? And my place is carpeted. And I swear I got some sort of static electricity shock after holding onto the plasma ball too long.
Yeah, I could see how
Yeah,
that
I
would
could do
happen.
that.
Static buildup, yeah.
Also, I don't keep it on for very long because I swear I saw on a show, it might even have been like Mr. Wizard on Nickelodeon, like they showed that show on there in the early days, where someone touched their finger to a plasma ball and it eventually burned all the way through it, so they could then take their finger up and it would go zzz after a little while. It was
Okay.
weird. So I tend to keep it off, or at least not touch it for very long, because I don't want that to happen. I think it breaks it.
Should you like cover it like a crystal ball?
No,
There you go.
as long as it doesn't get smashed, it's fine.
I used to have a plasma ball, but my Winston broke it. Damn cat.
Well, there's a great picture online that's been going around on Facebook of a cat that touched one, and like the camera is on that side of it, so you can see all the little pads lighting up. It's very cool.
All right.
Aw,
Yeah.
that sounds adorable. Now I
It
want
is the
one.
buffo and the beefy.
And a kitty.
I don't know. One thing that's really great, I actually have 2 desks now, so lots of space for monitors and other things. And so I finally set up that sort of, it looks like a containment unit that has an alien fetus in it or something. Here, let me show you. Like, it's, oh gee. Well, okay, you can see it there behind the plasma ball, and it lights up from the bottom to make it look creepy.
Okay.
Okay then.
Yeah. Also, new kitty tree.
Meow. So you
Unlike
have
the
a,
old one, Xander used a little clubhouse thingy.
so wait, do you have 2 now, or did you replace the
Nah.
other one?
Abandoned the old one in San Diego.
Ah, toquerese.
So I'm getting like some more stuff done on this Wix website where I'm gonna like list all of the stuffs.
Oh,
So
yay.
I've got like the forum set up and some other stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna need some context. Wix.
That's the one you were
I set
talking to
up a
me about, right?
website. Yep.
Wait, what?
Sure.
Hold on, too many at once. What does it do?
I'm setting up a Wix website for just to have like a landing page where info on like the GoFundMe for Diana, as well as like the coffee Ko-fi, and then
Oh.
also like a place where we can kind of talk about like if we're doing upcoming fundraiser type stuff, and then also like I'm hoping that we'll be able to like post updates and stuff. Also, hopefully once we get the kidney and stuff, I'll be able to like post while Diana's recovering and give you guys updates and stuff like that. So
I'll have to call them and make sure they have the correct phone number. I had 2 phone numbers at one time. Now I only have 1, and I want to make sure they've got the right one. So when they try to call me, they'll actually get through to me.
You may want to get on that soon.
Yeah, huh?
and
I don't know when they're going to get around to making a determination. The coordinator said that my name was submitted to the panel for review, but I don't know if anything's come of it yet.
I was like,
Okay.
Jackson Heathen there. I remember seeing them in Spencer's, the plasma balls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever set foot in a Sharper Image, like, ever. Radio Shack I did, but I don't remember seeing them there.
Well, I haven't been inside a Radio Shack in a very, very long time.
Well, they are out of business.
Right.
Although I hear they're coming back, much like Toys R Us.
Yeah, but not necessarily as brick and mortar, right? Or
That's
are
what
they?
I heard. That's
They're
what
selling NFTs now in crypto.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I know that was a big honkin' fad, but I hear they're dropping in value big time now.
Okay, that would make sense to me because I really can't see the advantage to having an NFT. I really can't.
Well, it's weird. Like, I don't know why anyone would value it.
Yeah,
It just seems weird.
right.
Like, I actually got into a big argument with somebody. I was like, why are they worth anything? And like the dude said, basically, 'cause reasons. Like he never made it clear why anyone would want to have them. It's not like you were able to spend them at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Although in San Diego, in this one coffee shop I used to go to for game night, there was an like a Bitcoin ATM, which I found very odd.
Oh, I've seen one of those out here, and of all places, it was at one of those combination gas station convenience stores.
Hmm. Like a 7-Eleven with pumps.
Yeah, huh? I would pass that on the way to the ballpark. So this has been for several years that it was there, but I don't know anymore because I don't know if I'm going to be going to the ballpark all that much anymore because it just ain't like it used to be. Sorry, kids.
Well, we have a minor league team here called the Lake Monsters, named after Champ and Lake Champlain. And like I have some old family friends who still live here, and like my friend Brooke has kids now, two of them. And so we're thinking like maybe invite their family with my family and go see the game. Of course, we don't really care about the game at all. It's sort of like the sports equivalent of a picnic.
Yeah, yeah. Minor league places tend to be that way.
No, I mean our purpose. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are actually big time fans.
Okay.
I mean, after all, Vermont does not have any professional teams for anything. The closest we have is the New England Patriots.
Okay then. Now, where are they based? I cannot remember where.
It's either Massachusetts or Maine. I'm not sure, but I think Massachusetts. Don't quote me though. I'm like, seriously, I watch the Super Bowl every year and that's it. And I pick who's going to win based on how much I like their helmet art. So.
Okay. Where are New England Patriots based? All right. New
I mean, I've already
England.
told
That's
the
not what I'm
story.
after. Oh, Greater Boston area. Okay
Huh,
then.
told you it was Massachusetts.
Shantala Melogorabadiani Minima. Oh my.
Suppose I could angle the camera down more and show the kitty.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Although it does a little bit cut off me noggin.
Now wait a minute. What's that at the base of the cat tree that looks like a stuffed animal to my
That's
eyes?
what it is. Like, okay, my dad and I both got COVID when he was helping me move. I'm pretty sure I got it from him because he got sick first. And it ended up staggering our leaving. We were originally both supposed to take the same flight on July 2nd to get here. He ended up flying on like the 5th or the 4th or something. I ended up flying on like the 7th. And while he was here, he did a whole bunch of setting up that I wish he hadn't, because it's not where I would have put things.
Oh, so you had to undid it?
Uh-huh. And one of the things he did was like, I don't know where he found them, but he found a bunch of things people had thrown away, and one of them was this little cat-shaped stuffed animal, which I haven't really touched, and neither of the cats. So.
Moo.
Well, speaking about COVID, Katie's still in the chat. If you are, how are you feeling?
Wait, who?
Kitty.
Oh,
chat.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got COVID too.
Man, I gotta say that first day sucked so hard. Like, seriously, it was awful. Like, the boosters I had gotten, the first shot was not so bad, but second shot and booster sucked so hard. I've never been more sick in my entire life, except when I actually got COVID. But, I mean, clearly I suffered no permanent damage, and I'm going to say that's because the vaccines made it so much less. I can't even imagine what it would have been like if I was unvaxxed.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I got a second booster, so 4 shots in all, and got the arm pain, but it's gone now. So.
Well, I forget who I was discussing it with. It might even have been on this show. But apparently the reason why the second 2 shots hurt so much is they just weren't defrosted enough when I was injected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's why they also made me sick. I don't know. But the first shot was like in one of those big, huge events, where it, like, seriously, we waited online and like it was a Star Wars sequel. And it was actually pretty interesting, I have to say. It was like something out of a movie. But I'm pretty sure that shot was prepared better.
Okay.
The worst I got from the shots was body aches in weird places.
Really? Weird.
Yeah.
Cases.
Yeah, there you go.
really weird. Kind of like around my sides and around near my stomach.
Hmm.
Odd place to get body ache.
Yes, your stomach, right?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Now-
I seem to remember there was something where like she had been part of some weird religious sect or cult or whatever, where they were so afraid of their own bodies that she could only tell her doctor that she was having stomach pain when she was having like reproductive problems. I
Oops.
forget exactly precisely what. I don't think it was just cramps, but it ended up becoming like life threatening because she couldn't tell them what was really happening. Now that story may
Great.
be apocryphal. I don't know. It's something I heard, but I don't insist on its truth.
Well, I don't know. I won't reject it out of hand,
Hmm.
but I won't necessarily accept it unquestioningly either. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, there was a kitty tail moving around.
Yeah. I think Columbia was not happy that I stopped petting her.
Uh-huh. There we go. That is a cattail moving more in the I like this method. Yeah.
Never 100% certain when she's lying down what the tail motions mean. Even though I've looked it up, never sure because she's always been a little atypical as a cat. Xander, on the other hand, is pretty darn typical. Yeah. Although, one way he's atypical, and I know I've mentioned this before, he's one of the only cats I know who likes his tummy rubbed. Columbia hates it.
Yeah, this one isn't good for it either.
You know, Xander practically insists on it.
You don't usually find a cat that insists on it. It's usually more of a crapshoot.
Well, like, I'll start petting him while he's on the floor, just lying on the floor, and he starts to roll over, and I pet him on his tummy, and he doesn't hate it. Then he rolls over again, then back in the other direction. He just seems to just yum it up when he's got his belly rubbed. Also, Minnow, that typing is very loud.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Daju korostu.
But, yeah. Also, my desk has a cup holder.
How many cup holders
Like both
do
of
you need?
these are gaming
Nice.
desks, so they have cup holders and a place to hang headphones.
You got cup holders on your sofa, you got cup holders on your desk.
Yeah, the couch definitely has 2 cup holders, and they light up just like the bottom does. Also, that
nice.
that little thing on the arm there, that's a compartment. Like, I've got the remotes in there right now,
Interesting.
so it's going to be difficult to lose them, which is great.
You'll still manage to.
Wow. Cannot believe I found that couch. Like, I'd been searching for months to find sort of like a, geeky gamer cyber couch kind of thing. Could not find anything in my price range. Like, everything was $2,000-$3,000. But then, like, went to a brick and mortar store, and that was the very first item I saw.
How comfy is it?
I mean, comfier than you'd think. Okay, the middle bit. Actually, maybe I should just show you. Sorry, Columbia, get up here.
Ah.
All right, yeah, I know. But this flips up, and it has 2 lights in it, right? And this, like, where's it? This flips down, and there's 2 more cup holders. Plus, there are 2 plugs plus 2 USB. Right? But that's not all. There's more. Okay, let me do it on this side here. It's a recliner. And not just a recliner, the headset comes up too. Like right here. How cool is that?
And then when the motor sticks, it sort of clams up and swallows you, right?
No. But yeah, so how cool is that, huh?
Well, it's got an air conditioning unit too.
Well, over there.
Oh,
It turns
okay.
into a giant robot.
And you know, you wouldn't think it because it's very sort of leathery, vinyl-y material. But if you sit on it with shorts for like an hour and then stand up, it does not rip off the back of your thighs.
All right, all right.
Which I gotta say, anything that feels like that usually does. Like, you know, when you stand up after sitting in something and your bare legs are hanging out, you stand up and it's like rip because,
Yeah.
you know, oh, I hate that.
Which is why I don't wear shorts to dialysis. Yeah.
Oh, so they don't have like material, you know, soft stuff. It's all sort of shiny and
Yeah,
leathery. Oh,
right.
that
It's
stinks.
horrible.
It's kind of
And
the most uncomfortable things to have you sit in for 2 hours,
2.
Mhm.
I wish.
5 hours, or whatever.
4. I tell you, yeah, by about 3.5 hours, it's unbearable.
Hmm.
Then, of course, I have the spinal problems, so that's why it's unbearable. But
Well, hey, look on the bright side. What?
well, I suppose I could set fire to some magnesium ribbon. That would be the bright side.
Well, I suggest you look on that then.
And you were talking about the New England Patriots and the football stadium over here has just been renamed, and somehow Acrisure Stadium just doesn't make it.
Acrisure?
Yep,
The hell's that?
I have no idea.
Probably someone's name who donated a bunch of stuff or died.
But it's Acrisure.
Hmm. Weird.
Yeah. Well, I'm not all that big on the idea of companies buying naming rights or any of that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's something
Well,
I-
I'm not a fan of when they name something after someone who died, and I really hate their name. Like, the superintendent of the South Burlington School District died, and my middle school is now the Frederick H. Tuttle Middle School. And I gotta tell you, for some reason, maybe it's just an autism thing, I don't know, but the name Tuttle just bothers me.
Okay, then.
I don't know.
Louis Tuttle, there you go. Well, I found out He-Man's official birthday is October 12th, and that's my birthday as well.
Oh, well
He-Man?
then.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, He-Man is in Masters of the Universe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, they has officially designated October 12th as his birthday.
Well, there was, I think it was the last episode of season 2 of Stranger Things. The kids go to a school dance called the Snowball, and someone's recording it with a camcorder that has, you know, how like old 80s camcorders have the date on them, and it was on my birthday, December 15th.
Moo. And then Kitty's here. Meow,
Hello.
meow, meow, meow.
How are you feeling?
Hey, not great. I'm still really drained and tired, and my chest still hurts. My son's doing better, though. He's still got a bit of a cough, but I want the fatigue to go away. And I didn't lose my sense of taste or smell, but some things started tasting different. Like the juice in my PV, like I've just powered through because it just tastes off, and my toothpaste now tastes like Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh, fun.
Ew.
Weird. I didn't get any of those
Weird.
effects when I had COVID. And I don't think I did have a cough, but it didn't last very long. It wasn't like nose stuffed up, I have a cold cough, though. It was just, you know, a cough because my throat was all ripped up.
I was a little annoyed. I bought a bag of snap peas for my parrot, opened them up, and they're already bad.
Oh, no.
They smelled like fermented.
Hmm.
I can't give them these.
Well, make some pea moonshine with it.
Yeah.
It's about already.
Of course, if you drink moonshine, you'll eventually make pea out of it.
Yes.
That was annoying because I just bought those too.
I've actually had that happen to me once. I bought lettuce, I believe it was, at a small independent grocer, and the next day it was moldy.
They don't have the like the frozen shredded chicken I like to buy for my stir fries, which is annoying. So I had to buy fresh chicken, but there's so much of it in the package that I ended up using only like 3/4 of it before it went really stinky. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was still like it might have been still good, but it smelled so bad I threw it out. No reason to risk it.
Yeah, if it smells bad, you don't want to touch it.
Well, when I get a whole bunch of that stuff at once, what I'll end up doing is repackaging it and freezing what I am not using right away.
Well, I've never liked defrosting anything. Maybe it's just because I'm impatient as fuck, but it always seems like defrosting takes too long, and I'm hungry now.
Well, I break the rules when it comes to that stuff, and I'll put it in the microwave oven on the defrost setting.
Actually, I did not do this. My dad did it out of the blue. Got one of those air fryers. It's not very big. It's like a 3-story toaster oven size, basically. But I could probably defrost something in there. It has a defrost setting. But what I did, I took that vegetable slicer thingy, that goes, and there's a little mesh. in it,
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and I made French fries, and they were actually pretty good.
All right then.
I have to try my grandmother's recipe for French fries.
Although I got to find the right cook setting because they tend to burn before they get the right amount of crispy. So I think I've been cooking
Okay.
them like too high or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually.
Hey, Beck, how you doing, honey?
Oh, hey.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, she basically they coated them with she put them in like a boiling oil and cooked them that way, and then coated them with salt in a paper bag.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's pretty standard for homemade fries. I almost said home fries, but that's something else.
Right.
Yeah. I know. I've been trying to figure out what else to use in that slicer. I've used onions for my stir fries because let's face it, almost all my stir fries have onions. But I don't know what else to do. Plus, it has different sizes for the mesh. The one I'm doing for the French fries, I mean, I like the more shoestringy type, like you get at Mickey D's or whatever.
Right.
But they have really thick ones, and I'm not sure what to use those for. Not potatoes, I don't think. I mean, you can chop up almost anything in that thing, but I don't know what I would make that thick.
I just have to experiment.
Well, I mean, it might have a manual somewhere and tell me what uses it's for. I don't know.
I mean,
But what
you
I
can
know is you
always-
can't do it, you can't use it for meat.
You could always do for the thicker ones either like zucchini and make zucchini fries, which are really good, or do the thicker cut potatoes and then to get them all like kind of mostly cut and then just chop them up a little bit more and do like a skillet potato, like a hash brownie type thing.
Maybe eggplant for
I
like a
don't-
stir
well-
fry.
Oh, an
A
egg
lot
thing.
of that stuff I just plain don't eat. I don't eat eggplant.
Oh.
Zucchini, I only recently have learned that I can stomach zucchini. For a long time, when you hold a raw zucchini and it's like sandpaper on the outside, right? But then I really got started eating Kung Pao chicken, and I found that after they cook it that way, it's palatable because the skin on the outside is it gets less horrible. But to this day, I will not eat a cucumber if it has the peel on it.
I'm growing cucamelons.
Okay. Okay.
They're like little tiny cucumbers are melon shaped.
Well, cucumbers are melons, aren't they?
No, they look like little watermelon shaped.
Or,
They're
I
like
mean,
tiny.
yeah, I mean, I think they fall under like the squash family, kind of like pumpkins and other like gourds. I'm eating ramen, tonkatsu ramen with bok choy and soft-boiled eggs and
Oh my.
mushrooms, and it's
Oh
so
my.
good.
No, they're
But that
Tasty.
still sounds good. There's a lot of ramen joints around now. Like for the longest time, I just thought ramen was the styrofoam brick that you have in college. But you know, having actual ramen in a restaurant made by Japanese people is really freaking good.
Oh, sorry, honey. But if your migraine's coming back, you better take the.
Yeah, I gotta go
off.
take some pills and lay down. But good to see you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Have
Good
fun.
to have you here, honey.
But yeah, and that like the black smoke garlic or whatever it is that goes in like actual ramen is really good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's garlic. I don't think it's ginger. I don't know.
If it's what I think it is, yeah,
Naruto.
it's black garlic.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. I don't know. There have been times I've like not wanted to go out. So instead of like trying to get actual noodles, I've made a stir fry using ramen noodles and it works pretty well.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's interesting. Loofah is in the same family.
Really.
Yes.
As
Cucumber.
zucchini.
Yeah, cucumber, squash, zucchini, pumpkin, they're all in the same family.
Well, you know, that's the thing. I've never pumped my kin. And on Twitter, like, you know how Adam Kinzinger is, like, sort of in charge of part of the January 6th commission? I keep on Twitter asking him if he zings his kin, and he won't answer.
Well,
Okay.
apparently the Tiny Toons reboot, Buster and Babs are going to be siblings.
Oh, but weren't they romantic interests in the original? What the hell are they doing?
Yeah. Not a word.
Well, I mean, Jackson, Heathen, their cucumber to me tastes pretty good as long as the peel's off, but the peel is so damn bitter. Ugh.
Yeah. I forget what the alkaloid is that's prevalent in the peel, but yeah.
Well, and of course, I'm a super taster, so what you
Right.
gonna know?
There you go. Yeah, I don't mind the bitterness, but then again, I like bitter things.
Which is weird because by definition, bitter is grody, but whatever. Like, if you're enjoying it, it's not bitter.
There you are. There you are.
I don't know about that.
Well, honestly, like, anything that's bitter tastes to me like I just took a big old mouthful of sand.
I mean, dark chocolate, coffee, like
Well-
those things are bitter, but you know,
You can sweeten
really
them
good.
enough to kill the bitterness, but at that point, you might as well have, like, the milk chocolate or hot chocolate or something, you know.
To me, bitter is just another taste.
I have found like there's these dark chocolate like filled with caramel sort of gourmet candies at the Lake Champlain chocolate, or I think it's just Champlain chocolate. Pretty good.
Okay.
Also, I can get Ben and Jerry's right out of the factory if I want to.
Yay!
Although technically, shouldn't it be Ben's and Jerry's?
I'm not sure how those rules go. If the pair is a unit, do you have only one apostrophe S? I'm not sure.
Well, but it's two people though.
Yeah, so it depends how you view those.
Well, I mean, like, okay, I haven't actually met them, but my dad has, or at least he met Ben, and he's clearly a distinct individual. So it should be, it's Ben's ice cream and it's Jerry's ice cream. It should be Ben's and Jerry's.
Tayo Corasto.
I'm just saying. Although I have to admit, it does sound a little awkward to say it that way.
Oh, I don't know. I suppose.
I mean, it's
no.
also a brand now, so you know, really like conventional grammatical rules don't necessarily apply when you have a brand name.
I have to admit, it drives me a little nuts when British people will take a company name and say are instead of is. Like, Microsoft are doing this. I'm like, okay, if you want to say Microsoft employees are doing this, fine. But Microsoft is a company. One.
Yeah, and which they view as a collective noun.
Which is so wrong. It's one company full of a lot of employees.
Nowadays, corporations are people more than people.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I mean, because there really isn't a standard, is there? Not really. I don't know. It's one of those things. I actually finally broke down and asked a couple of British people whether or not, like, how telly is short for television. I wanted to ask if lorry was short for something. Like it just, that's a weird word for a truck, and they call trucks vans. What's up with that? I'm just saying.
I don't know
but
how
it
that
turns
one
out
works.
The trunk is the boot of the car.
Well, but the thing is that lorry isn't short for a damn thing. Or according to them, it's not. Like the ones I asked. I think Stool got in on that, and like Critical Cripple. In fact, I think it was on a post from Critical Cripple that I decided, because lorry was mentioned in that post, and I was like, okay, tell me,
Moof beef.
So
Also,
yeah,
I'm one of the few people I know who draws a proper ampersand instead of a funky 3 with a line through it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I do I don't do the 3. I do the loop-de-loo.
Yeah, me too.
So tonkatsu ramen, like, it is so good and really nourishing because it's a specialty of a certain area of Japan, and they take essentially like pork back and bones and trotters, and they will boil it down to get all of the nutrients and every bit of flavor you can from the bones and the marrow and all that stuff. And so it leads to this like milky, creamy looking broth that it doesn't have any like dairy in it whatsoever. It's literally just like the fat and the proteins that were broken down, and it's so good.
Of course, if it's not from that region of Japan, it's just sparkling ramen.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I guess you could make the champagne argument, sparkling wine, champagne, but same diff.
I'm just
It
being
is still
silly.
the same thing. Oh, Kate, I think you'll appreciate this. My little bracelet with the little skulls on it.
It's a little tiny. Let me maximize your window, if I can.
Here, hold on. Your little skull beads.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, remember, of course, I only hung out with goth people, but whatever. It's weird though, and I've probably said this before, but I kept talking to my goth friends. I'm like, look, I just wore black to fit in. If you saw the songs that are on my phone, on my playlist, you'd be like, why the hell are you here? And they're like, yeah, but you're still goth. I'm like, but, when I'm
State of
not at the
mind.
club, I wear very colorful clothing. And they're like, yeah, but you're still goth. And I'm like,
It's a state of mind. It's you carry spooky season year round in your heart.
but
That's
I
all that matters.
don't. That's the thing. I don't. All my goth friends right now are like, oh my gosh, the Halloween stores are open again. And I'm like, okay, but I feel like I can't escape goth culture now, and I'm wondering if I just joined a really benign cult.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, can such a thing exist, a benign cult?
I don't know.
I
I'm
guess
trying to.
according to the bite model, it couldn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, who does that bite model? I forget.
Telltale.
Yeah. I was going to suggest that you talk to him and see what he thinks.
I just based on what I know of the bite model, I think anything benign would not count as a cult.
Yeah, no, if it truly follows the BITE model, you're talking about behavior control, information control. Now, you can have cult-like tendencies in that, people tend to congregate and they are very similar, but once you start getting into actually regulating it, then it's no longer benign.
But it seems like once I joined, I can't unjoin. It's like black herpes, and I mean black clothing herpes, don't misconstrue.
It's like the
Right.
Catholic Church, you have to
Well,
get kicked out.
I
Otherwise
wouldn't
that's not
necessarily.
forever.
I wouldn't necessarily call the Catholic Church benign, but that's beside the point.
No, I'm not saying it's benign. I'm saying once you're in, you're in. Like, I haven't
Yeah.
been a practicing Catholic for 20 years, but they still count me among their numbers because they won't excommunicate me.
They just don't do that stuff anymore. They actually changed the rules such that you cannot leave no matter what you do.
So which one is it? I think it's Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses where they're like posthumously baptizing people.
That's the Mormons, I think.
Yes, Mormons.
That's so screwy.
Yeah.
Like if I believed in any of that stuff, I'd be pissed if they were doing it,
Mm-hmm.
Be like, what the hell, dude? Grandma's not in Mormon heaven. I mean, sure, it'd be great if she got her own planet, but still. Except okay, I think she can only get her husband's planet.
To be fair, they have posthumously baptized Hitler as well. Like, everybody.
That's just screwy.
They must be
You get a
hard up for
baptism, you get a
membership.
baptism. Everybody gets a baptism.
Yeah, for real. But, no, like, my grandmother was actually excommunicated from the Catholic Church because she divorced my grandfather, who would get drunk and hit on her. Like, just beat the shit out of her and her kids. And she got kicked out of Catholic Church for
I
that.
got a phone call.
Now, wait a minute then. You say she divorced her husband, and they excommunicated her for that?
Yep, it was back in, the 60s.
She didn't have to get remarried or anything in order to be excommunicated?
As from what I know, it was just the divorce. I know she did eventually get remarried, but it was in a different church, not the Catholic Church.
Okay,
But this was back
then.
in the 60s, so.
I've often wondered how that works. Like, you die, no, your spouse dies, you remarry, you go to heaven. Who the fuck's there? How does it work? Does your former, like your dead spouse go, what the hell?
I think allegedly somebody was supposed to have asked Jesus that question or something, and I think his answer was there was no marriage in heaven or some shit like that. I'm trying to remember chapter and verse.
You're
and I
all married to God, which is creepy.
Well, I'm sure that they'd be like, hey, my former, spouse, glad to see you again. By the way, meet my new spouse. Used to love you, bye-bye. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, huh?
yeah. I mean, when you break it down, obviously, most of us here know already, I'm sure all of us do, that religion is nutty.
Mhm.
But when you break it down, it keeps making less and less sense the more you examine it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they usually train you to not ask questions.
Well, it's actually funny because it wasn't actually like the concept of hell that turned me off to religion. It was actually heaven. And
That's
it's
interesting.
because I thought of it this way, like, if I die and I go to heaven and my child is not there, that could not be paradise for me. So either I would have to have no knowledge of my life that I lived, and at that point, what was the point in living it? Or I'd have a fake version of my child, and I would rather an ugly truth than a beautiful lie.
Mhm.
Or I would know my child is in hell and not with me. So none of those are paradise to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, I used to be, I want an ugly truth, not a wonderful lie, but now that I think about it, if I was given the opportunity to spend the rest of my days in a Star Trek style holodeck and maybe not know it, I think I could make a go of it and be happy.
Cypher.
That sort of thing. But also, hell is where they have everyone who knows how to have a good time.
Which is
Yeah.
also true.
And I saw
And
this
it's gotta
meme
have
that's been
AC
going
by now
around.
with all the scientists. I mean,
Well,
come
yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. This meme keeps going around. Like, all the scientists probably have figured out how to air condition it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, heat rises, so technically heaven should be hotter.
And not to mention, like, honestly, truly, if Satan, if Lucifer rebelled, why would he want to punish others, for seeking freedom? I like the idea of, like, the Luciferian thing of just, it's about, freedom, like, do you kind of thing.
Well, the way I heard it, and I don't know if this is like official dogma or whatever, but basically he's throwing a tantrum. Oh, I got kicked out of the kingdom of heaven, and now I'm down here in hell, and because I'm pissed off, I'm gonna make all these mortals suffer.
Yeah,
You
but that's part of God's plan. Like, it's doing what he wants to do. Like, and that whole, like, thing, part of that comes from Paradise Lost, where,
Yes.
after Lucifer was cast out, he ended up, along with his children, finding essentially a path here, and he decided that, he was going
yeah.
to essentially destroy Eden by
Yeah,
getting the humans cast out.
Yeah, that's all Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
Someone explain this one to me, because I can never keep it straight. Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. Sometimes they're all the same person, sometimes they're not.
So Lucifer was the archangel, the morning star, and he wanted to essentially usurp God.
Yeah.
And he was cast out. Satan actually just means adversary or enemy, which is why you'll hear in, the more extremist Islamic sects, they will call the West the Great Satan. So Satan was applied as a moniker to Lucifer, but it really would just be any adversary or enemy. And then the devil is basically kind of your amalgamation of, the big bad evil boogeyman that came about from things like the Malleus Maleficarum, Paradise Lost, Dante's Inferno, and, whatever other shit they want to cram into that. But there was no, as far as I recall, direct, like, line to say that Lucifer was actually Satan or even the serpent in the garden.
Well, the serpent was definitely not Satan. Yeah.
Well, the one
I'm
that,
just saying there's nothing in the text that I recall.
Right.
Well, it's kind of weird, like, not being raised religious, because I was never told these legends. Like, for example, I was probably well into my 20s or 30s the first time I heard the morning star with regard to, Lucifer or whatever. To me, as someone who played a shit ton of D&D, a morning star was basically like a mace on a chain, whoosh, 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 bam, right?
Okay.
It's a spiked ball on a chain with a stick. That's a morning star. There's a lot of things like that where I knew a very different version of it because I wasn't raised in this, that, or the other thing. I was gosh, I think I was at least in my 30s when I learned that John Wayne was a stage name.
Yeah, Marion Morrison was his birth name.
Yeah, which is actually why I objected a little bit to this meme that's going around, because, they have a picture of John Wayne, and then they have a picture of Elliot Page, and it says, if you're willing to call this guy John Wayne, but not this one Elliot, you're a transphobe, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yeah, but I was not around for, like, a public name change on John Wayne. So to me, he's always been John Wayne, where Elliot Page has a dead name that I did know, right? I think it needs to be someone whose name change was as public rather than just a stage name. Like, for the meme to work.
Yeah, but it still kind of gets the point across, though, just in general. I mean, it's the same thing, like, Marilyn Monroe was not her real name,
Right,
Again, I only ever knew her by that name, which means that I never had to adjust. You see what I'm saying? Is that the adjustment, I think, is what's important. Because, unless you ever knew that there was a dead name or an alternate name, a stage name, et cetera, it doesn't work.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we went back to calling her Rebecca Romaine instead of Rebecca Romaine Stamos when she got divorced from John Stamos.
I think it's got to be a first name also.
Like,
I forget who it was now, but someone presented a really good example where it was someone who was cis, whose name change was very public. And I was like, perfect. But I wish I could remember it. You know, my memory's garbage. But it fit so much better. I don't know. I mean, like
The only ones
get
I can
the-
think
I get
of
the
are-
message of the meme, but
marriage or like other trans people, you know.
well, the first one that popped in my mind, and it doesn't really work because it was a legal thing, was the artist formerly known as Prince. Like, the only
Hey.
reason he tried to rebrand himself was because the record label bitched when he left and said Prince is a brand name, we own it. So
Okay.
it doesn't work completely, but I swear there was someone else, someone whose name change was super public, and everyone calls them that anyway. I'm trying to remember who the hell it was.
Snoop Dogg. He tried to rebrand himself as Snoop Lion at one point. I think he went back
No,
though.
I mean, this was like more of a given name thing. I don't know.
Well, there
It's
was
not
Puff
important.
Daddy, like, you know, there was the P. Diddy Combs, and then Marshall Mathers is Eminem, you know.
Well, but I mean, again, this is more like I changed my legal name to this kind of thing. It was not a stage name. I can't remember who it was, but someone brought someone up, and I was like, that's so much better. Actually, I could probably find it. It was Godless Mom who posted the meme where I raised that little point, and someone mentioned it, and I was like, aha, that's so much better. I don't know.
I just look at it this way, like if somebody, you know, like in conversation slips up and uses Elliot's older name because they know, like it's when it's done like deliberately and maliciously, and like that is very much what the right-wing media is doing, what people like dipshit McKermit the Frog, you know, Canadian Kermit Frog, Jordan Peterson, like he's literally doing it on purpose, like to be hateful, to be bigoted. I mean, to go and say that this 30-something-year-old man, this like 35-year-old man, does not have the agency to make a decision about his own body, and it's like, oh, this criminal doctor hacked her breasts off. Like, that's what got him kicked off of Twitter. And he was ranting and raving that it's like, oh, we can't have trans-affirming care for kids. And it's like, now, if you want to have a conversation of where the line is, of at what age they could start puberty blockers, or they could socially transition but no surgeries or medications, like, we can have a conversation, you know, and the experts should be the ones to make the ultimate decision. But when it comes down to it, when you're talking about an adult, a grown-ass adult, like Elliot Page, who is my age, you know, mid-30s, he should be able to make his own decisions. And Jordan Peterson was saying that the doctor was criminal for hacking off his breasts.
That's just really stupid.
Well, Peterson's a jackass anyway, but
he was trying to equate it to like the fucking shit that was done by like Mengele.
I'm pretty sure the people that Mengele did his crap to were sort of involuntary.
Sort of. A little bit.
You know,
about
just
that
a
much.
smidge. I don't know. I mean, my only objection at all, and again, it's terminology. When they did my brain, that's top surgery. This is upper middle surgery. But that's, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know why people call your ass your bottom. That's the back of my middle. My heels are my bottom.
Okay.
Just saying. I don't know. But then again, I'm the sort to go into a restaurant and order something extra medium, so don't listen to me. Anyway, remember I was talking about those shoes and how they, like, you can see them from orbit?
Oh yeah, okay. Because I think you showed those at me a little earlier. Yeah, you may not have showed them to the rest of everybody, but
I didn't actually, but I think I posted pictures of them on Twitter or something.
Something
You tried
like
putting
that.
a black light on those things yet?
I did. It doesn't work.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a shame. But what you gonna do?
But yeah, you mentioned blacklight. I had a ruby ring at one time, and I was amazed that rubies re-emitted under blacklight.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's storming, so I figured I would go with the raining thing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I gotta figure out the
It
lighting.
looks pretty good, but you've got the same problem that Kate's having. Your microphone isn't isn't very well covered by the
Yeah.
filter or whatever you call that thing.
Yeah, mine does some really funky stuff. Like when I blur my background, it thinks the microphone's part of the background, right? I can do this, and then like the microphone starts getting into focus when my hand is there, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's kind of funky like that.
Like it's weird. Like I do prefer StreamYard's thing. It just seems to work a little bit better.
Well, one thing about StreamYard versus here is you're able to set the tolerance levels on the keying. You know, where
And that
like,
helps.
if I do this, you can sort of see white artifacts from my wall.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
there-
Yeah, as you're moving your hand.
Yeah, where in StreamYard you can actually there's a slider.
Okay, so
And
what is it
the-
like?
it-
It affects persistence or
Well,
something?
it's basically if you slide it all the way one way, you disappear. If you slide it all the way the other way, the background disappears. So you can find that sweet spot in the middle where you don't have all these weird artifacts.
Well, it's basically like just a tolerance level of this is how much of the background or this is how much of the green screen to get rid of. But if you crank it too high, it starts thinking everything's green.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh,
One
my.
thing I used to do, like, you know how I used to make my videos with a green screen all the time?
Mhm.
I would have to hit myself with like at least 3 different filters because I would have to do like the main green, the lighter green, and the darker green because like either I would crank it, like if I tried one, I couldn't get rid of all the green. Right, so I had to do 2 or 3 of them with different levels of green so that I didn't disappear.
Okay, then.
You know, it's a funky thing that. Well, actually, I learned it in film school in the '90s, so it's a little easier now, but still.
Oh, my.
Also, I can totally put my own Quinn Redshift logo up there. Yes.
Yay.
To my channel, watch the trailer. It fucking kicks ass. And as soon as I get my whole system set up, I'm gonna get back to work on the bastard. So yeah. Also, if you watch Stranger Things, you'll get that one. So, anyway.
It is the Agfu.
I am
Yeah.
kind of full, but I want to show like this broth, like that, like thick, like creamy, like almost milky type broth. Like that's literally just.
It's a bit oily, isn't it?
No, I mean a little, but you gotta think like all of like the fat from and the cartilage and the marrow all breaks down because it takes a good 12 to 14 plus hours to make a tonkatsu broth. So you're literally just boiling the bones and everything for hours upon hours to extract all the nutrients and flavor. It's
Still, if
so
there's
good.
all that fat in there, it has to be kind of oily. I'm pretty sure I've had it before, and I seem to remember being a bit overwhelmed.
That's what my
By the
piss looks like
oiliness.
lately.
Oh, that is not good, Di.
I'm. I have to get a sample and see what they see in it.
Was it like toothpaste? I've heard if you dehydrate enough, it can be.
It's not the consistency of toothpaste, but it. You know how you run water over a mud flat and it picks up that sandy texture and the brown color of the mud? That's what I've got going right now. So it
Mud-
may be
A mud flat or a mud flap?
mud flat.
What's
you know,
that?
like a dry riverbed
Oh.
or something like that. Yeah, and they tell me that it could be that I'm that dehydrated, which I could believe because I cannot drink that much with the kidney failure because I don't piss it out the way you guys do. And then if they take out too much at once, I start cramping.
Okay.
Yeah, this
So-
this kidney failure is not fun.
Well, you know, it should have studied.
Yeah, huh?
But
Absolutely.
one thing that's great about my place, my windows face west, and I see this kind of thing every night. It gets very sunsetty out there, and it really does look like these colors.
Okay then. Yeah.
Yeah. Although right now it's a little cloudy, so it's hiding a lot of it. But even that, I mean, some of the clouds have been pretty pretty.
What I really like is here, and when I lived in Homestead, we used to get a really golden color in late evening. I mean, it gave everything a golden cast, and it looked really, really nice. Um, I can live with that, but what I can't live with very easily is getting that stuff at 4:30 p.m. There you go. There
Fish
you are.
heads, fish heads, roly poly fish heads, fish heads, fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Now this is really interesting. Oh, there you go.
Sorry
Now I'm
for
seeing the
that.
fish head in the open chat window.
Hmm.
For the longest time, you weren't showing it.
I don't know
Um,
why you look at the feed from YouTube instead of the live feed on Meet.
Because reasons, I guess.
Anyway,
I mean, I get to see what's showing up. Oh, there you go. There you go. I like that French fries thing.
I am Frenchie the French fry.
Gotta say something so everybody else can see your spaceman outfit.
Hmm? Oh, I didn't even notice that one. But look
Which
at me, I'm a
one?
monster. A monster! That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, it's a little cyberpunky, isn't it?
Yeah, a
I
little
don't
bit
have
like
a camera, so I
Borg.
can't play around with this.
Well, my camera doesn't go to my Meet camera doesn't go to the open chat window. No,
AR.
what you're
Look at
seeing
me,
is my
I'm in
second camera.
space.
Yay!
No one can hear me scream.
Right.
I'm also a computer head. Robot. Maybe I sound like Stephen Hawking. Anyway.
Topolo
That
Costani.
was close. Like I could fucking feel the window rattling from here.
Whoa, that is strange. There's a roller coaster and a Ferris wheel on my noggin.
Now,
That
is
is
that
very
Ferris
strange.
wheel going behind your head or through it?
Looks like through it. Yeah, I could play with this crap all day. I wish they'd let you make your own custom animated ones. Because, like, you know, you can have your own static ones. I tried to use something animated and they would.
There's the poo-poo heads.
Maybe in the next update.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you can use your own still images. Look, lasagna Oreos. But
Fucking cursed, Kate. The fuck is wrong with you?
I came up with that once because you know how they've been making all kinds of weird ass flavors of Oreos. Well, I figured what could I make that's random and nasty, and I figured lasagna Oreo would be like the best. you
Just
know?
reminds me of a spaghetti sandwich, and it's like, too much wheat product.
I'm just thinking that it would not hold together. The integrity of the sandwich would be compromised after the first bite.
Yeah, that too.
So, yeah.
Oh
I don't even
my.
understand some of these. Ooh, clouds.
I've looked at clouds from both sides now.
Yeah, actually, my first thought was turn around, look at what you see. Which you totally don't get, do you, Diana?
Of course. I mean, just
Gosh,
You know,
how have you never seen the never ending story? I mean, seriously.
when was it on the tube?
Well, it
80s.
was in the movie theater, and it was like what, 84-ish?
Well, I was kind of busy in the 80s.
Too busy to go to the movies?
Yeah, really.
You missed so
How?
much.
Well, being married does that to you.
No, it does. Hey, I had a
Great
long,
one of
like, 5-year relationship, and both of us totally went to the movies all the time because we wanted to.
1984, Neverending Story.
2 years
Dario
before I was
Corosto.
born, but it's still one of my all-time favorites.
I mean, it like I have to admit,
I wanna
even
love
as a
it,
kid, I thought some of the special effects were a bit janky. I mean, you see matte lines all over the place, but it's still a great, well-told story, and I like it.
The special effects, though, were better than the head chuckers from Labyrinth. That was rough.
Oh, you mean the Fireys?
Yeah, I couldn't remember
Although-
their names.
I gotta say though, I loved how and he might have been more than one of the singers. Danny John Jules, who played Cat from Red Dwarf, was one of those voices.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, or at least
That
one.
reminds me of
If you watch it knowing that, it's like, oh my gosh, how did I not see that? You know?
I'll have to rewatch that at some point then.
Oh, I
So-
recently rewatched Labyrinth. It was just as good as I remember. I love that flick.
I have a game that I have played with my son since he was itty bitty little baby. And it's the Chicky Marengo game where, he would go to escape is like, too slow, Chicky Marengo, too slow for this kitty. I'd catch him back and then he would like beat my nose and then I'd have to let him go and then I'd catch him again. And it's too slow, Chicky Marengo.
I don't know, for some
My
reason,
favorite thing from
I'm
Mudrosh.
most amused by fish. Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal. Fish! I don't know why, but that slayed me.
Why does that sound to me like something that the Warner Brothers things would have done?
If you've actually seen it, you wouldn't think that.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was one episode where like Cat basically went to the food provider machine, and he asked for food, and it's like today's specialty is chicken Marengo, and then he's like, I'm gonna eat you little chickie, and then he almost knocks it off the table. He catches it, like, too slow, chicky Marengo, too slow for this kitty or this cat, But so
think
that's
you
where I
did
got
say
the name
kitty.
of the idea. Well, yeah, that's where I got the idea for the game with my son, and he loved it. He still does.
I really got to pull those discs out and watch Red Dwarf again. Unfortunately, like when I first got Netflix, it was streaming on Netflix, and then no streaming service had it after a while.
Oh
And
yeah, I remember seeing the date that was going to go, and I just binge watched the whole thing.
Well, here's one thing that absolutely pissed me off. And it also startled me, but it pissed me off. Is I was watching, I think it was House, and between the episode I was watching and the next episode, they yanked it. Like the next episode didn't load. I searched for it. It was nowhere to be found.
I'm not saying anything, Kate, but always an option.
Fair enough. Although I have the series on disc now, so. Also, I'm pretty sure it's streaming on either Hulu or HBO Max. So, or it might
Okay.
even be Netflix. I don't know. Yeah.
I will have to check, because I never actually got to watch all the way through House. I only caught, individual episodes.
It's funny. Like my first encounter with Hugh Laurie was Blackadder, right? And so watching him play House, I was like, oh my gosh, where did he get that American accent?
Yeah, I guess he's really good at that, though, the American accent.
Well, him and Simon Pegg and a lot of other British actors, like there are a few I had no idea were British.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's kind of funny, and someone pointed this out, and it's totally true, except I gotta say for Irish people, when people sing in English and it's their native language, everyone sounds American. But I had no idea for the longest time that the band Def Leppard is from Britain.
Okay, then.
No idea. Had no idea. And there were a bunch of others where like someone put up a meme of British metal and other bands, and I was like, since when is Tears for Fears from Britain? I had no idea.
All right, I just checked HBO Max and Hulu and Netflix for House, and none of them.
Yeah,
I guess they yanked it.
the only thing I'm pulling up for House is Hulu Live TV.
I don't know. I'm
But
so
if you have a
tempted, like,
VPN, try that.
if it weren't for the Orville, I probably would have canceled my Hulu subscription a while ago.
I found other stuff to watch on there, so it hasn't been too
Oh,
bad.
so have I, but apparently their company policies have been really shitty. And also, I remember when they deprecated my Blu-ray player, so I couldn't watch Hulu on my Blu-ray player anymore. And I was really pissed because I think planned obsolescence is theft.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So I was, and they did it because they were like, they were like, we want to put up this Hulu Live nonsense, and your Blu-ray player can't do it. And I'm like, why can't you give me a service that is just regular old Hulu without that nonsense? And they're like, nah. I was so close to canceling it, but I needed to watch the Orville.
But yeah, the only other thing I could think of would be using a VPN to change your location and then check, because a lot of things are region locked. But if you say go to Brazil or the UK, then you have access to an entirely different, like, Netflix and Hulu library.
Yeah, that is one benefit of having a VPN.
Well, I need to get a copy of Young Sheldon season 5 because, well, I can't find it streaming, damn it. So, or rather, I can't find it streaming for a service I already pay for. Like, if I
Okay,
want to
then.
watch it on Prime Video, I totally can, but they're going to charge me extra for it. I'd rather buy it on disc and always have it.
Okay, it looks like House is on Prime, on Amazon.
Okay.
Season 5 of Young Sheldon doesn't come out until September. Kind of makes me wonder, I mean, because Young Sheldon is streaming on HBO Max, maybe when it's released on disc, they'll also put it on streaming.
Yeah, I just confirmed it is streaming on Amazon Prime.
Alright, well, something to watch. I think since I finished up The Boys.
Oh, The Boys is so... I love that show.
Once they're doing another episode, I'm up to, I think it was 8 on...
No, the season's done.
Okay, is it done? Alright then.
I'm
Yeah.
absolutely loving how right-wingers are having a tantrum
Okay,
over
those-
the fact that Homelander is so evil.
Okay, those last few
Yeah.
episodes,
Oh,
I
there
did see
we
the
are.
Trumpian in the character.
And like, I remember a lot of people were saying, well, I really like, I forget what the guy was. He was like Soldier Boy's sidekick or whatever. And they're like, I really liked everything he was saying until he murdered everyone in the like black meeting where they're asking him to stop, going after black people.
that one guy, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like all these right wingers were like, yeah, of course all lives matter, and then he just massacres all these people, and they're like, well, I liked him up until that.
It's like, no, you still liked him. Don't fucking lie. At least be honest about your bigotry.
Well,
You know?
no, that's the thing, though. A lot of them seem to be genuinely horrified. Like that's why I'm loving their pain. Is they were totally idolizing someone without realizing they were the villain.
Yeah, so did you see, not only was there one guy, I saw the article on Twitter, that he is like a neo-Nazi that was going to go out and kill a bunch of minorities and then rape a bunch of white women to increase the white baby production. But then there was the prison guard that decided to give the key to the women's cells to some of the male prisoners and just let them assault the women.
Oh, I
I
saw
just
that.
heard about that one this afternoon.
Yeah. Like, there's some, like, serious
Oh,
shit
jeez.
going on in the world right now. And all these fucking, cis, het, white Christian women, they think that they're going to be protected. Obviously, they've never seen The Handmaid's Tale. Serena
sure
does
moving
not end
forward.
up in a good place after helping to bring about Gilead. She ends up chewed up just the same. Maybe to a different extent. She's got power over the handmaids and the lessers of their society, but she is still just as much, considered property.
Well, but the thing is, I'm not sure some of them even care. Some of them look at that and think, yeah, that's what a woman is supposed to be. I've seen them say it. But do you remember when like Trump was running in like 2016, and there were these women who honestly look like wall Martians wearing the shirt that says, "I would let Trump grab my pussy."
Oh,
or
I
something.
remember that. Yep,
It's
I sure do.
like these people are so I don't know, is it cucks or Stockholm syndrome or whatever it is, but they're totally brainwashed.
It's a cult of personality.
I don't get that whole thing because you're giving up yourself, and I just can't understand that.
Well, a lot of them, I think, see it as serving their god or whatever.
Yeah, no,
This
definitely.
is assigned to me.
They, at least some of them, they went full golden calf when they made that fucking golden Trump statue.
Okay, then, yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, these right-wing groups, when they get really extreme and really militant, tend to overreach. They tend to, like, pop off too soon. And people start to see behind the curtain. And I think that's what's happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and all of those people, is a lot of folks are seeing through what they're doing. Like they haven't been convinced yet. And so there's a lot of conservatives who are ditching them hardcore because they're like, whoa, I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, just wait a few years, they'll seem
get
normal.
indoctrinated enough.
Yeah,
No,
but
see,
then there
that's
are
the
people
thing-
still
that's the thing, I don't
supporting Matt
think it is.
Gates, and he's a fucking alleged predator.
But my point, though, is that the people supporting them are the ones who are going to. That there were people who were sort of like going with the flow, who are now going, I can't keep doing this. You know, like there's a lot of people watching the January 6th hearings and going, oh my gosh, I supported this crap? No, I'm done. And a lot of them are even politicians who are saying, no, I'm done.
I wish there were more, but I'm
Give it
thankful
time.
for those who are.
Yeah, but all the people that are saying, no, I'm done, they're hitching their wagon to fucking DeSantis, who would do the exact same things that Trump has done, only he'd be sneakier about it by going at the state level first and then going at the federal level. He wouldn't stage a blatant insurrectionist coup. It would be a silent coup that you wouldn't be able to do anything to stop, and you wouldn't see it.
I don't think it's all of them, though, because what I've been seeing is right-wingers against Trumpism, and DeSantis qualifies. I've been seeing that online. I mean, I don't know what the percentages are, but there are some people who are abandoning MAGA completely.
Yeah, but the majority that I see just from, my perusing of these things, it's not, they might be leaving Trump behind because he's basically just become too toxic, and like with the insurrection and the hearings and everything, so they're like, yeah, we don't want him to run again, he served his purpose, he did a good job, blah blah blah, we should move on, and we want DeSantis.
Well, DeSantis
is kicking his ass in the polls.
Then. I think we're looking in different places then.
It's possible. I mean, I hope it's not DeSantis. He's the governor of the state that I live in, and he's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, and this is why I'm really afraid of the jump that many are making from Trump to DeSantis. Because just to me, DeSantis is Trump with something going on upstairs. I mean, DeSantis seems to know what he's doing.
What, you mean you don't want the whole country to be Florida?
I'd rather not.
Well, given that it looks like Beto O'Rourke is likely to win Texas, I think there's going to be pushback. Just saying.
Well, I'd like to see the pushback. I really would. Hopefully it works.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's a little irrational, but I've come to have sort of a, let's just call it, intense dislike of Texas.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Mm-hmm.
It's a shame he was born there.
Well, I'd rather be here in Vermont. Not that Seattle would have been worse, but
Caption could use some work, but I get the point.
Well, that was the whole point of the Phil comic I made with Head Meats.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, right.
You're the person in the back of the room going, guys, and they're all like, shut up, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or like that guy who totally gets thrown through a window in that one comic.
Yeah, huh? Yep.
Yeah, that meme was reminding me of you with your stance on voting.
Well, don't get me started on that again.
Okay.
Although, I have had a few like moderate Democrats throw a tantrum in my direction because I won't fall in line. Because I keep telling them, look, if you can't win without my vote, I have power over yours. And they do not like that. Like, they're like, but then you're taking our decision away from us. And I'm like, tough. Don't play political chicken with me. I am pissed off and I'm done with lesser evils. So you can be on the progressive train or under it. Fuck you. I'm not changing my vote. You know, if I am necessary to win, then you'd better start catering to me. Just a smidge.
I can see the logic, yeah.
I mean, it's like the free market at work, basically. I've got what you want, so that makes it more valuable. And sure, it's blackmail. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. What I just don't understand is what the source is of the weakest possible candidate at all costs attitude.
Well,
Where this time it was Biden, and yeah.
It's the electability lie, and it is a lie. I mean, people like the person who was having that argument with me, was like, what do you mean electability lie? Of course, Biden was the most electable, or whatever. Might have been Hillary. I think it was both, actually, in the discussion. And I was like posting article after article after article and poll after poll of these people going, I would love to vote for Bernie, but he can't win. And I'm like, okay, but isn't that a self-fulfilling prophecy? You know, you're not going to vote for him because he can't win, so he's not going to win because you didn't vote for him. You know, it's like,
the reason why
isn't that just sort of, you know, tautological, inevitable the way you're doing it? Take a fucking chance once in a while, please. You know, like I can't get through to these people. They're like, oh, but I'm so shit scared of the other side. I'll vote for anybody who isn't them. I'm like, so you're voting against your own interests then.
No, the reason why they have pick the other person is because they're more in favor with the corporations.
No, that's not usually it.
I'm talking.
They're getting snowed by that.
No, not the voters. I mean, the reason why the other guy gets pushed is they're more in the pocket of the corporations.
Well, that and a lot of the people that want to actually change the world, or at least the country for the better, for in a more populist direction, are the enemy. I mean, there was a Stop Bernie movement by the politicians. Obama's phone calls right before Super Tuesday, they did not want Bernie taking power. The
Yeah,
people who were already in power, they were doing everything they could to stop him.
Yeah,
And
which
so they kept putting out the electability lie, which ended up becoming true just because people fell for it.
I wish I could find that 2016 compilation of the news media just trashing Bernie.
It's just so frustrating. I mean, because people are such sheep, and you can't get through to them when you try to point out how they've been snowed. They just won't. They'll go, well, whatever, or even just fuck you. You can't convince people to act in their own interest. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I remember one part of the I can't remember the question exactly, but it was like Bernie was just saying, "No, I don't believe that. This is what I think." And then like the very next question in the debate during the compilation was, "Why do you think this?"
Ugh. I mean, I wonder, like, someone in a debate, they go, "Why do you think this?" I don't. Next question.
Yeah.
It's
I
I
guess
don't know
I
where
don't-
you got that, but that ain't me, pal.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact thing was going on, but that was essentially it.
Ugh, it's just. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm just completely frustrated with the whole thing, and I don't really want to participate anymore. Especially when I get those arguments with people where they're like, "Look, I'd rather have 9 steps backward than 10," and I'm like, wouldn't you want to step forward? What the hell's wrong with you? Why do you think you can only play defense and only get less worse?
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you? And the number of times they're like, but Trump though, and I'm like, okay, but the next president's going to be doing things in office. Don't you want them to be doing good things in office? And they just reiterate, but Trump though. People are so scared, too scared to take a goddamn risk.
And then they have
And if there was ever a time when failure didn't mean disaster, that time is done, gone. It's never coming back.
and then we have the Democrats getting in there and setting things up so things will actually be worse when the Republicans get in office.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually more of a Republican thing to do. I mean, look at how they're blaming Biden for everything
Well,
Trump
no,
let
I'm-
him.
No, I mean they'll set things up so that when the Republican gets into office, they have more power to do more damage.
Oh. I'm so sick of the whole process because it's either rigged or it's bullshit or nothing will ever get done that's positive. What the hell's the point? I don't know.
And this is why I don't know how much I'm sticking around for. My health is bad enough that I don't have any real incentive to hang around.
I don't know. I just think I don't know. I can't even think of a foreign country I'd want to go to because everyone's getting bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, at least Britain yeeted Boris, but I don't know.
Yeah, but still
where
not in
that's
time. Well, what I'm looking at these days is the people who are available to replace Boris really aren't that much better than Boris was.
I don't know.
And as far as I go, nobody wants me. I mean, I'm poor, I'm old, I'm sick. I'm
And you smell
really,
funny. No, anyway.
yeah, that too. And I'm just not anywhere near the top of anyone's immigration list.
No, it's funny. I looked it up once, and there is a medical reason why old people smell funny.
Oh yeah,
I forget what it is, but it's like there's a reason.
yeah, it's a certain chemical compound that's in your sweat, and I forget what it is.
It's not just a stereotype.
Right. Let's see.
I don't
But
remember
it
what
doesn't
the
matter.
chemical
We
was.
just know that the whole idea is that it's not bullshit. I mean, it's interesting to look stuff up that like is just sort of common knowledge and finding out whether or not it actually has a basis in reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because some things do and some things don't. I remember watching a video. It was like a father and son had bought a buttload of microwaves and started putting things in it to see whether it would make them explode. And Like it turns out metal, like forks and silverware, will like spark a lot, and then the microwave stops working, but it doesn't go shabooming.
Yeah, it burns out. It burns out the what's a magnet in there or something.
But I remember, like, back in the 80s when I was a kid, everyone was like, don't put, like spoons and shit in the microwave. It'll explode and burn your house down. They even had a scene like that in the movie Pump Up the Volume, and it's just plain not true. Although I did hear, and I don't know if this is true or apocryphal, but there was this woman who had a poodle, and she used to, like, when she'd give the poodle a bath, she'd dry it off in her oven. And then she tried it in the microwave.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I once exploded an egg in the microwave, and it was not that impressive. It just went in half, and that was it.
So, my sister once was sitting on the phone talking to her friend, and she went to reheat the breadsticks from Olive Garden in the microwave, and those bags have metal on the inside. So, like, the
Oops.
bag itself, paper on the outside, caught fire. And she just sits there watching it burn, and then just starts hollering for our mom. Like, Mom, the microwave's on fire. It's like, what?
Who doesn't take them out of the bag to put them in the microwave?
Obviously not this girl.
Now, I remember seeing something really interesting, and I was like, it's probably not online because I haven't been able to, but, and I was pretty young when it happened. I saw it on TV. Were these people, it was about some folks who were trying to invent something. What they were trying to invent was a microwave sundae, like an ice cream sundae, where somehow the container with the ice cream in it was protected from the microwave, but the chocolate sauce in the top was not. And so, like, somehow the microwave was supposed to melt the chocolate onto the ice cream without melting the ice cream. And I remember they got it to work, but nobody was willing to bankroll it. Nobody was willing to market it. And so the invention failed.
I had microwavable s'mores once, and the marshmallow ended up crawling across the plate.
In like, okay, regular bacon, you can just microwave it. I got one of those little, like, clothesline looking things that lets it drip into a pan.
Oh, yeah.
But before I found that, I found, like, frozen microwavable bacon where it's in one of those, like those plastic bag things where when you put it in the microwave and start it up, it inflates.
Oh,
It looked pretty wild. I don't know.
okay.
But then I discovered that that was just a gimmick that really wasn't necessary. Oh, where is... Oh, I was wondering where Xander had been this whole time. There he is.
Kitty.
Yeah. That's another thing. Some of the Vermontisms are coming back. I mean, saying yup is coming back since I've been here. I mean,
Yeah, you knew
I'm
he was
falling
gonna pick,
back into those old patterns from childhood.
knew you were gonna pick that up.
Here we go. Breaking. Senators Marco Rubio and Ron Johnson voted against bipartisan legislation to make more computer chips in America, which will lower costs, strengthen supply chains, and ensure we can outcompete China. Lovely.
Well, I saw a video on Right Wing Watch a while back where it was like this meeting of right wingers, and one of them said, well, whatever the Democrats propose, you go against it. That's just common sense, right? And everyone in the call nodded. And that seems to be like, I mean, obviously when Matt Gaetz and all of those people vote against things like protecting kids from child sex trafficking and all that. I mean, sure, part of it's just them being evil, but part of it was just, oh yeah, this was done under a Democratic president, and it was a Democrat proposed bill. Of course, we're going to oppose it. Seemed to be the attitude.
Well, that's
it's so sick. It's like, dude, aren't you the party of won't someone think of the children?
Well, that's nothing new because I remember George Voinovich talking about that stuff after he was no longer senator in Ohio, where if it was anything the Democrats proposed, they had to be against it, explicitly whether or not it was against the best interest of even us.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like their mission is to deny the Democrats any kind of win.
Right, right.
Because otherwise that will affect their votes. That will affect their ability to get elected again. It's all completely self-serving.
Yeah, it is. And you're seeing it again right now in force. And I don't know what I'm thinking right now. It's probably past time for drastic measures.
Well, what does that mean?
That means revolt.
Well, I'm already revolting.
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah.
I
no,
am genuinely concerned we're headed towards a civil war.
I'm not sure we can avoid it.
It's kind of frightening, not gonna lie.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm glad to be in Vermont, because if there's going to be a civil war, I'm pretty sure I'm behind the lines by quite a bit. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you are.
I am not here in Florida. I will be in ground zero, unfortunately.
It's Christmas at Ground Zero, the button.
And I don't have the means
Anyway.
to go anywhere else either, so we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Honestly, it wouldn't be so bad if the United States sort of disunited just a smidge.
yeah, but then again, you've got everybody fighting over what they get to take with them.
Well, what?
Because, well, all of the parties involved want the entire landmass. So as the states disunite, yeah, they're going to be fighting over what they get to take with them.
Yeah,
along.
you already said that, but what do you mean take with what? Take with them?
Land.
The land. I
Yeah.
mean, because you need, I mean, the United States works because it has all of its disparate different regions. You've got the manufacturing areas, although those have seen better days since we ship most of that overseas. But you have, you know, the breadbasket, you have, you know, the trade hubs and the coastal areas with, you know, the waterways, the railroads.
Right, and the unfortunate thing is all the food is in Redland.
Not all of it.
Well,
vast majority.
large part of it.
Well, we've got plenty of dairy here, lots of gardening, all kinds of stuff. Vermont could probably make a go of it and would probably say, hey, Canada, could you? You know, like we'd love to be part of you.
I suppose I can make it work in the
But-
southern part of California.
Well, and that's the thing is I know that California is like the 5th largest economy of the world. I'd love to see the red states try to do without it.
Yeah,
Oh, they
Honestly,
won't.
they
It
hate
won't happen.
California anyway. I mean, if and so like they wouldn't even want it. And I doubt they actually have the foresight or vision to realize they'd need it. So I'd love to see them make a go of it without.
Texas would be the only one that would even potentially have a chance, and I don't think that they could actually make it work, especially since the whole world, with the exception of us, has realized that, you know, the planet's on fire, and while they're still not moving fast enough, they, you know, other countries are putting in place and, you know, if they, you know, can't export oil, then they're done.
You know, also the developed countries need to put in place these methods for the undeveloped countries to skip the step of having to industrialize.
I mean, China's kind of already doing that. It's a new form of essentially imperialism where they're going in and they are helping developing nations get, you know, a foot up. But, you know, it comes with a cost, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really see how this planet can survive, or at least how we can survive on this planet, unless like the right wing gets their head out of their asses and realizes that profits and spite are not a good motivator. You know, like saying, well, we want money and we want to tell the Democrats, fuck you, that is like basically cutting your own throat, and they need to realize that.
And unfortunately, humans are not equipped for that sort of long-range thinking.
I disagree. Some humans are. I mean, they've actually done studies about the difference between brains on the left and brains on the right.
I've
And
seen some of that stuff. Yeah.
there really is a genuine difference. And it just some people have a predisposition to be like self-oriented, where other people have a predisposition to be team-oriented. You know, like working for the collective rather than themselves. I mean, it's kind of like how there's this meme going around about Nancy Reagan, where it's like, you know, she was against gay marriage until her son came out. She was against, I forget what it was, but there was like all these things where she was against them until they happened to her. And then all of a sudden, she was like totally on team, let's do something about
And then
this.
you have that guy who voted against gay marriage after going to his son's wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Cruz's daughter is bisexual, but he, doesn't want her to have the right to get married.
It's just so insane. It really is. And you know that they're going to try to go after gay marriage after they have now already dealt with Roe.
Right.
Like that's coming next. Ted Cruz has already said he's going after gay marriage. He wants the Supreme Court to overturn that. And like a lot of people have asked, okay, so what happens to the marriages that have already happened? Do they get grandfathered in or annulled?
Most likely annulled.
I don't think that is at all feasible. Never mind practical.
I don't know how they can
It
make
doesn't
that
matter. It's
happen.
bigotry. Bigotry doesn't need
Well,
to
of course, but I mean, it's also like, I mean, all of the consequences that are happening
After overturning Roe, where it's like they were unintended consequences, but it's getting in everyone's way, and and then of course you got the whole thing with that woman who was pregnant, who was driving in the carpool lane and tried to say, look, other person. They were like, nuh-uh, so clearly they're cherry picking their definitions,
Right,
and,
they are.
so it's
Yeah.
all so insane.
No, because you should be able to claim a fetus on your taxes if it is truly a person.
But they just want their little religious fundamentalist paradise of theirs, and they don't care who they hurt while they're doing it. And I don't think that like something as impractical as annulling probably millions of marriages, I don't think they can do it. I don't think it's possible any more than it's probably possible to do a giant United States gun buyback, even if people were willing to let it happen. It's just logistically, it's really tough. I mean, it's probably worse than trying to get us to convert to the metric system, for fuck's sake. And you've seen how that's gone.
Oh, indeed. Honey, those are sharp.
Oh, geez. Xander, you look like you're trying to hunt your sister. Stop that. Like Columbia's just sort of passed out on a chair the way cats do, one arm out and all that. And Xander's like vulturing at her. Hey, buddy. No, stop that.
Oh, Portia. I see a kitty tail.
Yeah, that's Mr. Zandy Poo. Come on up here,
Well,
buddy.
I
Come
think I
on.
may have worked out how I'm going to put this mobility garden together.
What's that?
Oh, it's an idea that I got, I think, from last Sunday. It's a mobility garden I want to put together for people who can't really stand in very well, or have to be in a wheelchair or something.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've been trying to
Gotcha,
think
gotcha.
how I can put it together in more or less in a way that somebody wouldn't really need too much help with. I think I've got it figured out.
Now, is this a garden to visit or a garden to garden in?
Garden to garden in. So you
Okay.
basically be able to sit in a chair or have a wheelchair roll up into the area, and you can actually you have everything in arm's reach. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, but the one way I wanted to do was a way that somebody could actually put it together themselves, if they couldn't even get out of a chair or anything.
I don't know. The only way I would want a garden is to grow my own weed.
What I've got so far is, well, first of all, if I'll be getting these.
Dunk.
Ah,
So the shelf, each of these shelves can be taken apart, so like kind of stand like a sort of a end table thing.
mm-hmm.
So I can take that apart, and then put these on top of them. So these are just grow bags, and they're really long. You just have to fill them up with dirt, and you got yourself a garden. You just kind of surround yourself with them in a chair.
All right then.
I actually might hold off on growing my own weed just because allegedly we're getting recreational dispensaries in October. I can wait a while. Besides, I need to do a much longer cleanse. I like every time I do a cleanse, I think I lasted about 2-3 weeks and then went to the dispensary. It's already been a couple of months, so it'll hit me harder in October, and that'll be great.
And basically, all of that is just really lightweight stuff that can be easily, stacked. It's just a matter of... The only problem I can think of is getting the dirt, or I should say soil, because, that's, heavy bags, and buying them in smaller bags where somebody who with mobility problems could actually lift by themselves would be expensive.
Yeah,
What if
yeah.
they live on a, I'm on the 4th floor myself. Just saying.
Yeah.
Couldn't live on the 4th floor. Like, I honestly, like, even if I won the lottery, I would build a house that had an upstairs, but my areas would all be downstairs, and then the guest rooms would be upstairs.
Mhm.
Maybe have like the game room or like the living room, like entertainment room where you would like watch movies and stuff. I might do that upstairs because I could go upstairs if we're doing like a Friday night movie night, in like a home theater kind of thing. But it's not something I would be doing every single fucking day. Nah.
Well,
Fuck that.
through that door back there, that's a completely empty room except for the really cool looking stuff on the walls, where once I get my fucking computer set up properly, that'll be my VR room.
Oh, that'll
Okay.
be fun.
Yeah.
Like I already have the design for like my dream home in my head, and the master bedroom would be on the 1st floor along with a basic like hosting living room. Like there'll be a TV, a fireplace, like couches and stuff, but there would also be like a home theater room which would be on the 2nd floor, and my sewing area, I would have a whole room dedicated to sewing with all my shelves and drawers and everything built the way that I want, to do any kind of sewing I could possibly want.
Well, you talk about
And-
winning the lottery. I guess I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have to go out and what do they call it? The Mega Millions or whatever in Pennsylvania participates in that. I think is up to $1,000 million now.
Jesus.
So $1 billion.
Well, no, it's 1,000th of a billion.
What?
A million,
You said 1,000 million.
1,000 million. A million is 10 to the 6th, and then 1,000 million
Okay,
is
don't
10.
do it with exponents,
is
please.
10 to
That's
the
hard to
nine.
visualize.
1,000 million is.
A billion.
Or wait a minute now.
Yeah, it's a billion.
A million is 1,000 squared.
Oh.
1,000 million is 1,000 cubed, and a
No,
billion is 1,000 to the 4th.
Okay, a billion is 1,000 million. So like you could have 100 million, and if you had 100 million times 10, that's a billion.
Okay, let's try this another way so that people can visualize it a little better. No, I need to do it with a window here. A
Kate to the
window,
rescue.
calculator, share. Okay, so this is 1. This is 100. That's 100,000. So that is what, 100 million?
Yeah,
And
that would be
that's
100 million.
1,000 million. That's a billion.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow, hang on.
I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, 1 million would be 1,000th of a billion. Yes,
So
because 1 million
1,000
times
million.
1,000 is, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I have dyscalculia, so numbers are not my strong suit.
But that one to me was pretty obvious.
Ow.
Because, like, you know, if you move one more place past 100 million, you get a billion.
Ow. Whereas okay, yeah, we have over here the term milliard can also be used to refer to one with 9 zeros after it.
Okay. Well, I still think that one of the best numbers has to be Snurgleplex, which is the integer immediately preceding infinity.
Taporenie.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
god.
fuck that.
Ow.
Numbers make my
Ow.
heart hurt. I
Ow.
honey, like, and the weird thing is, and like I've said this before, I would love to win the lottery, but not because I want to be rich, just because I would have that money. I would, buy property, build a house, and then I would just sit on it. Like I would have it, in low risk investments, CDs, where it's just rotating and have the interest to cover like day-to-day bills. And not have to worry about money. Like my quality of life would not change different, from what it is now, other than I would have a car of my own. But I'd be getting a Prius. So, like not a super fancy car, but having my own car, because I have not had my own car in a very, very long time.
I have like an idea for what my dream home would be. I don't have a floor plan, but I definitely have an aesthetic and a few types of rooms I would want. But I remember on Twitter, Godless Mom had posted something. I forget if she made it up or if it was a meme or whatever, but it was like, what would you do if you had, I think it was $700,000. I don't know why. Or maybe it was 700 million. I forget how much it was. And it was, what would you do? And most people were like, oh, I'd buy this, I'd buy that. I would, indulge myself this way. And my immediate response was, I'd make a movie. And everybody who saw that was like, that was the best answer. I'm like, really? And then I realized that everyone else was being like really freaking selfish, and I was wanting to actually do something with the money, like something productive, something creative. And I guess that impressed a few people. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whoa.
well, I mean, I'd be making sure that me and my family are set up, but then there are actually some charitable causes that I would like to fund or start, including one, where I would buy some property and essentially build apartment complexes in a couple of areas and make sure to help with the homeless veteran population, like where I could have a psychologist, on staff and, essentially give them a place to live and help them, with whatever they need to kind of get back on their feet, because it really bothers me how the meat grinder of the military industrial complex sends men and women over there and just chews them up and then spits them out into the gutters of the United States. And I don't know, it really bothers me. And like there are obviously other causes too, like helping to fund an underground railroad now that Roe v. Wade's been overturned.
Well, it's funny, like for years, decades,
Fixing neck
for some
problems.
reason, my go-to for the charity I would want to do, like to champion or whatever, I want like, and I've never been to Michigan, but I want to fix Flint, Michigan's water. God damn it. I don't know why that's my go-to, but if I had the money to do it, I would. And
Yeah.
my first thought would be like, first thought once the project was engaged in, I'd be like, okay, and you're only allowed to hire workers from, like, let's say within 100 miles of Flint. you know, and you're only allowed to use stuff that's been manufactured in the continental United States or Alaska and Hawaii. You're not allowed to go to, like, you know, some territory that's technically US soil but isn't actually going to employ American citizens, you know, that kind of thing, just to make sure that all that money spent that doesn't go just to parts is you know, fed back into the economy. Damn it. You know, I mean, that's what I would like to do if I had the money for it.
I'd probably want to get myself about 3 to 10 acres at least and turn it into a big food forest, and I could donate the food.
Oh, well, also
Actually,
a
that
classic
was
DeLorean. I'm
something
buying me a
I-
classic DeLorean, goddammit.
All right, that's a fair investment. Another thing that I would do is I would absolutely set up like a fucking commune. You know, like I have a lot of people, friends online that are, you know, differently, you know, abled. Some are able-bodied, some are not, and everywhere in between. And essentially, but everybody has something that they can contribute, you know, even if it's just reading stories to kids, you know, in our little like commune, and have an actual community where you would have, you know, on-site farming and community
I'm almost
center.
in favor of
See,
that.
that sounds great, but I remember on a stream like this one a while back, I think Purple was here. We talked about how to do that and realized that the like bylaws or whatever would have to get so complicated, and it would probably turn into some sort of like dictatorship or whatever, and we just didn't see a practical way to make it work without like destroying a whole bunch of friendships and all kinds of other crap.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of things. You would have basic bylaws, you know, where you could essentially follow the Wiccan read, you know, do what ye will, harm none. That kind of covers it, like, don't be a dick. And then as far as any actual community rules that go above and beyond, like, what our laws, like, don't steal, don't rape, don't murder, like, the common sense
It
ones.
wasn't just that though. It was
Then-
also a lot of like paying for things. You know, it was a lot of like who owes what, who bankrolls it, that kind of thing.
Well, and I mean, obviously the financials would have to be worked out, but as far as like community bylaws, I would say a direct democracy, you know, would be the best way of, you know, one voice, one vote, like one person, one vote. And that would at least, you know, be the most egalitarian way to handle it.
I don't know. I mean, you know how I feel about voting. Usually I'm the outlier and never get my way, so fuck that.
I mean, but you would be surrounded by a bunch of other like secular humanists, so
I don't know. I still don't trust it. I like the setup I've got now.
Also,
where
how
this is
big?
my home and it's roomy enough. There's plenty of room for me and the cats. I mean, it'd be great to have other friends in other apartments, but I mean, I wouldn't want to have to be beholden to anybody like that. Speaking of friends, there is like someone I haven't met yet, but apparently another gamer is moving into the building, and my parents know like his parents, and he's eager to meet me. I'm eager to meet him. We might try to start a D&D game. I'm so looking forward to having played tabletop in forever. That's the kind of thing I'd love to have on a commune, is like-minded people who want the same things.
Oh yeah, no, we would have a library stocked with all of the tabletop game
I
books.
don't mean
Also-
just that though. I mean, like, we all have similar goals, similar wants, that there isn't a lot of like push and pull of no, this is the direction I want us to go, and well, tough, I want us to go in that direction. That's like incompatible with it. I just don't like that.
Also, how big are we talking here? Because these things usually only work on small scale.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would imagine, you know, the community could be up to 1,000 people. Like, and that's the absolute maximum. Because beyond that, I don't see it really working. But, you know, having, you know,
I
dozens
think-
to
I
a
think
couple
maybe-
hundred people.
I would think maybe smaller than 1,000, really.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
was
why I'm saying
thinking-
the absolute maximum. But I'm thinking probably around 100 to 200 people would probably be ideal.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
I've
was
seen it
picturing
written.
closer to 20 tops. For personally, I think it would have to be a very small group for it to not get ugly.
Well, I mean, you buy out a ghost town. Like, there are ghost towns all over the country that have been abandoned, and then You find one that has fertile land near it, and you institute farming and, community garden, community center kind of thing.
Well,
Let's
usually
take over an
ghost.
abandoned shopping mall.
There you go. But usually, ghost towns have been abandoned for some reason.
Money, usually.
The
Like
work
seriously,
dried up.
people went where the jobs are because their job economy died on them.
Yeah, I mean, some of them it's because of obviously like toxic gas or an underground fire that will burn until the end of the fucking heat death
That one near
universe.
me, yeah.
But regardless, like a lot of them though, they were just corporate towns, and when the companies left, then the towns shut down because there was no jobs, no work, so people had to leave.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I suppose it'd be great to be self-sufficient, but I'm no gardener. I'm no farmer. I couldn't do it.
I am.
I'm not.
Yeah, we've got people that are farmers or gardeners, and like I said, there would be we would find some sort of work for everybody, something that fits their skill set.
Do we need an artist? I can make charts and signs.
That
Definitely.
Yeah.
is something that can be done, and
We would
There's-
definitely need somebody to handle sci-fiing the place up.
There you go.
absolutely. I mean, this is supposed to be a utopia, man. We gotta have our egalitarian utopia.
I can just picture a lot of people going, "No, we're a commune. We're in farmland. It's got to look rustic." And I'm like, I grew up on rustic. I mean, it sounds like a bad story, but when my parents adopted me, they were living on a commune until my dad could finish the log cabin. Not even kidding, right? And then we moved from the log cabin to a farmhouse, and then ultimately to this sleepy little beach community that is now getting gentrified to hell.
I definitely like having central air indoors.
Also, I would have fiber optic cable run from one of the ISPs so that everybody can tap into the fiber optic. But no, I mean, honestly, even if I never won enough to be able to make my commune dreams come true, I ideally, just a plot of land where I could build a couple of houses for my family and close friends, where none of the houses are right next to each other, but there's plenty of space on the property where it's spread out so you can see people whenever you want or not, whatever suits your fancy.
So what you're saying is that you want huge tracts of land?
Yeah. No, it's like the line from what was that? I think Brighton Beach Memoirs.
I was thinking Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but all right.
Close enough to cross the street and visit, far enough away to close the door and be alone. Something like that.
Exactly. I mean, because I love my family, but I can't live under the same roof with as them, even in a McMansion. Like, we couldn't be under the same roof, but we could be next door neighbors. Like, that wouldn't be an issue. It's just, can't be under the same roof.
So
I feel that my parents and I can only take so much of each other for extended periods.
And
It's
let's
like-
see, in that case, an extended period is what, 18 hours?
Actually, I mean, with this move, I mean, for a while my dad was staying here. I think it's closer to 3 days.
Okay. Fish and visitors smell after 3 days. Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Well, it's
yeah.
just like my dad and I have some serious personality clashes. He has this tendency to interrupt me before I'm done speaking, and that really gets on my nerves. He also has like a tendency to to not acknowledge what I've said before changing topics, and that seriously gets on my nerves. And he doesn't like it when, after he's gotten on my nerves in too many times in too short a span, I start to yell.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh my! I thought that sort of thing would had me in a hell of a lot of trouble back in the old days, and something I should have done a lot earlier was start to yell when a parental unit started being an arsehole.
I know I could never survive in the military because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the one time I did, when he started giving me all kinds of shit, I had just come out, and his sister had died right around that time too, and that's why I made the mistake of telling my cousin,
You gotta
okay,
turn that off. People in the chat are bitching.
turn what off?
The dead.
Oh, tabarakeste. I'll figure out how one of these days. But
It sounds like a telephone or something.
it's Twitter installed on my phone.
Oh, jeez.
I
You
just
can
may
mute-
have.
You can mute your phone.
I'll have to find out how to do that.
Just turn the volume down.
Then how do I hear the?
Well, you turn it back after the
phone?
stream.
How do
Or
I?
you turn it on
No,
to
no.
vibrate.
Well, then I've got to have the phone in my pants all the time.
What's
Only
wrong
during
with
the
that?
stream. Oh, Jesus
The stream
Christ.
isn't doing it.
I
Are you-
fucking love you.
are you
I
waiting for a
swear.
phone
You
call or
fucking
something?
weirdo. You are such a weirdo, and I love you for it.
Are
If
you
I'm
wait-
ever in Vermont, we're hanging out. Like, we're gonna spend the
Alright.
day together just fucking goofing off and being weirdos.
Are you waiting for an important phone call or something?
Yeah.
Now?
I always. It's a call that will come when I don't know it's ever gonna. I have to be ready to answer the phone for the
Oh, the
transplant,
kidney.
the transplant people.
Gotcha.
How to mute Twitter
It's usually pretty simple.
Android.
You go into like your notifications thing in the settings menu, and everything should have an on-off switch. Shouldn't be that tough.
Okay, so they're telling me how to mute a
Okay.
conversation, but that's not what I want.
Here, go into the settings, go to notifications, and you should have an option for notification sound somewhere in there, and that should give you an option to mute the sound for your notifications, so you can still get phone calls. You'll still get a ring for phone calls.
Okay. Settings
I
and
don't want most recent. I want all of them, you rat
And-
bastard.
On my phone, with Twitter, I would go into settings, notifications, and then pull up Twitter in there. And then it gives you the option to essentially turn off sound. So then you don't get any sound notifications from Twitter.
Like this. Like, see all those little switches there? Those let me turn it off. Gosh, I have a lot of shit turned on.
But yeah, so for me, it's notifications, and then you've got the different apps, and you select Twitter, and then under the notifications, there'll be a sound, and just make sure that's turned off.
Actually, I want that one on. Yeah.
And this is the portion where we all play with our phones.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things I haven't done. Like, the main reason I hate how every company wants their app on my phone, I mean, number one, it clogs it. But number two, I really just hate how everything wants to beep at me. You know, I'm like, dude, that's why I don't want your damn, like, apps, is because turning it off is a pain.
okay, I'll
So-
try to do that.
Jeez, when did I get that on my phone?
Yeah, I have a bunch of random shit on my phone. I should probably go through and clean house.
Honestly think that some of this stuff came preloaded. I don't remember putting HBO Max on this phone.
Yeah, mine has a lot of bloatware.
I mean, I put HBO Max on my phone, but that's just because it comes with my cell phone subscription.
De patroda, tatayo ka sa nimetike peste.
I don't really watch anything on my phone, so
Yeah, I mean, my phone is not a PC, and my PC is not a goddamn phone. I could bitch about like Windows 11 for ages. They've dumbed it down so hard. I hate it. It's like they're trying to turn my PC into a tablet or a phone, and I want them to stop.
They won't.
I will be right back.
that's okay. The next version will be more like a tablet or phone.
It's just the big print, easy reader version of computers now. It's such a pain in the ass. Oh man, so many things I have to turn off. No wonder I haven't done this. My autistic ass sees it as too much of a chore.
Huh.
Like seriously, when I was about to move or whatever, I thought it'd be great to back up all of my discs onto like a separate drive, you know, so that I could like just have them with me when I travel or whatever. But I have 700 discs, give or take, and I got through about 20 of them and said, screw this. You know, and also I got this really cool rotating shelf on order that should be arriving soon for all of them. It's like I used to have my shelves lined with discs. I think I've shown that before on this chat.
I think
Now
so.
it's just one standing tower, and it's going to be so much easier to use that.
Mm.
Why the hell would I get notifications from Solitaire? What the hell?
What you eating there?
It's a chicken tit.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm starting to get hungry again, even though I ate before the stream.
Jeez.
The thing is, every time I take a bite, it dislodges my dentures.
Yeah.
Fucking Xfinity. Why would I want that? Yelp? Come on, fuck off. I swear there's other stuff that's not listed here that I want disabled. What the hell? Wait, why would I want Hulu on my phone? What the fuck? Where did this all come from? Ugh.
I'm guessing that some of it's preloaded.
Yeah.
I guess, but geez. I mean, I have Hulu on my PC. I still don't want it talking to me on my goddamn phone.
Mm.
Although one thing that's kind of neat that I got for my cell phone is this weird little bookie cover. Like you know how you usually have to put the screen on there so it doesn't get cracked.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
wanted to
and
get
of
one of
course I
those.
put a Quinn Redshift background on there, duh. But when you close it up, it actually has a little window that shows you the time and some of the notifications and crap.
Does that
The
thing
only
also
thing I wish that it could do was have like controls for the MP3 player.
does that thing also have wallet sleeves in there
No.
for like credit cards and stuff?
No, but also this little thing here gets the cameras, so you can still take pictures even when it's all the way closed, or all the way
nice.
open. I mean,
That's actually close to what I'm looking for for my phone.
it's pretty awesome. I don't know if they make it for every model, but they certainly did for this one. And I mean, it can be a little awkward because I'm left-handed and it opens the wrong goddamn way. But other than that, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
I've been able to find are the wallet versions where he has the credit cards and the sleeve for money and stuff in there. And
I think
don't
that would
really
get
need
awkward after a while, wouldn't it?
that. Yeah, imagine.
And your phone would get too bulky. I mean, hell, my wallet is already too bulky.
I think it's supposed to be where it like replaces your wallet, but I don't really need all that because I already got my wallet to carry all that stuff in.
I guess it's time to crowdfund or whatever it takes a place like what was it called, the Leftorium or something like that.
Oh yeah, Ned Flanders.
Yeah,
Anyway, it's like 9:30. We've been at this for a while, and I'm getting quite hungry. So even if the rest of you keep going, I think I'm gonna, make food.
Well, it might not be a bad time to wrap up or anything. It's not quite 3 hours, and That seems to be a pretty good length.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to pop in for a little bit at least.
Oh, glad to have you, honey.
Hope
Really
you
and
get to feeling
truly.
better there soon.
Yeah, I got up to go to the bathroom and I'm already fucking winded just from going to take a piss. Like, that's not fun. I'll be happy when that's over.
Well, so mindful. I'm also not supposed to consume very much dairy. So that works with the liver. I love liver.
Ugh.
Oh my.
Anyway, I will catch you evil geniuses later.
Well, you
Have
take care,
fun.
honey. And then I'll tell you what. How about I want to thank everybody who's here, and I want to thank everybody who's not here. You people keep me going, and I hate you for it. One of those deals. And sincerely, though, I thank you for all the love and support. And as long as you keep liking this stuff, and as long as you keep coming back and watching, and as long as I'm alive to do it, I guess I'll keep doing it. How's that sound? Like that idea?
Terrible, but I'll be
Yeah.
here anyway.
There
Later,
you go.
everyone.
Later.
Take care, sweetness. Oh my. But yeah, thank you everybody, really and truly, for all the love and support. I just might as well keep going with the begging. Anybody who's got the inclination and the wherewithal, if you want to throw me $1 or $2 over Patreon, to get me back and forth to dialysis, I'd be very, very appreciative thereof, really and truly. Hopefully, though, it's going to get a little bit easier over the next couple months if I can get signed up for access. We'll see what happens there, because now I'm eligible for the short bus. And, okay. Along with all that, anybody else have any idea? Anybody else have any last words?
Don't be a dick. COVID
Okay.
sucks. And,
Okay.
yeah, like, don't give up. Keep fighting, because, like, it's not just the uterus havers that they're coming for. They're coming for all of us.
Oh,
And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
we need solidarity. We need to stick together because, I mean, it's not too far away from subjugating women and stripping LGBTQ people of their autonomy and rights to, just putting down the disableds.
Yep.
It's already an ableist society that is not kind to people that are not able-bodied, and it can and will get worse if the rights
Yeah.
are continued to be stripped away of people.
Unfortunately true.
And as, a disabled person myself, like, my crippled ass is worried about shit getting, like, really bad, and I know I'm not the only one. So, just look out for each other and help out help people out where you can.
Yeah, I know that they're after Medicare and Medicaid next, and I worry about that one because that's where my health funding comes from. And they want trans people, and I'm one of those. I'm on everybody's hit list. Oh well.
It definitely sucks, and it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And that's the worst part of it,
But oh well, what are you gonna do?
Just try to survive and try to help others where you can. Like, we need community. We need, to do what we can to look out for each other. Even if you can't do anything, just giving someone a space to vent and to talk, that can make a difference. I mean, it's not going to change anything systemically, but it doesn't take much to make someone's day better and, just a little bit less shitty. And we should all be striving for making everybody as, happy as possible and, trying for harm reduction strategies wherever possible.
Mm. So yeah, I hope we can manage that sort of thing. I really do. But I do have my doubts most of the time. But
Yeah, I'm not hopeful, but, fake it till you make it, right?
oh, what do we have? Okay, advocating consumption of a low-fat vegan diet and everything. That's not for me because they want me to eat plenty of red meat. But that's okay. All right, Mage, my dear. Any
Yes.
Any words?
Just go check out my new gardening channel. Gardens Happen. I'll be pretty much got just about everything I need for next month on videos.
All right. Why don't you give them the address of your?
Sure.
Yeah. Let them know where to go to sign up. And okay, while you're up to that, I'll wait for it to show up on the side chat so we don't cut
There is
you
in
off.
the
There we
admin
go.
side chat.
There is where Mage's YouTube channel is. Please inundate him with all sorts of subscriptions.
Next one will be on tomatoes.
Oh, yum! That sounds like fun. Even though I'm not
I-
supposed to have them, tomatoes are yummy and tasty.
Mage, have you seen those molds for growing your pumpkins in? So, like, they're like you can get like a Frankenstein head and you basically put it over like a small pumpkin, and then as it grows, it fills out into the mold, and it's like a
Yes.
clear thing.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
That sounds like fun.
I've,
I like
I've also
that.
Yes.
I've also seen those things break from the thing growing.
Oh, jeez. Ha! But that would be a lot less work than carving it, yeah.
Then again, I love pumpkin carving. I love everything to do with Halloween and spooky season. Like it is a frame of mind for me. I mean, hence the skull beads.
Mm. I haven't carved a pumpkin since, I don't know, about the 1970s.
I'm actually thinking about my next one might be a garden tour. So we got the end of the month coming up here, so I'm gonna be doing those around the beginning of the month.
There you go.
And then the tomatoes.
Tell the wonderful audience how to overwinter your garden.
I don't really have that problem in Florida.
Oh, wait a minute, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, like we don't have to worry about like frost as much as just like intense heat and drought.
Yeah, here in Florida, basically, in the winter time is basically everyone else's summer for what they grow.
Okay. Yeah, you're what, zone 10? Zone 9?
Yeah, I'm in zone 10.
Mm.
I'm bordering zone 9B, so I can play either way. And I can even go play around the zone 11 stuff.
Whoa.
I think I'm like one zone up from Mage,
Yeah.
but like it's still pretty close.
Even that can be a pretty big difference on some things.
Where are you, Brevard County, or?
I'm in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Orlando.
Ah, moo.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it is one of the bluer parts of the state, so there's that at least.
There we go. With Orlando sitting pretty much dead, well, not quite dead center, but close.
Pretty close to dead center of the state. Yeah.
Though interestingly enough, Disney is actually be technically singing Kissimmee.
Yep,
Okay, so it's
Universal's closer to me than Disney because Universal is actually more close to Orlando proper. I mean, it's still a ways outside, like especially from downtown, but it is closer to Universal Studios than it is to Disney because you do have to go all the way to Kissimmee for that. And Celebration's down in that area too, which is basically Disney Town, USA.
okay.
It's basically Disney's corporate town, and they have this. They pay for the school, the roads, the hospital, the school, all of it. And they were getting special tax incentives from the state to do it. And then DeSantis, in a Nixon-esque, petulant temper tantrum, decided he wanted to essentially, cut those tax incentives to Disney, which, I mean, I'm not opposed to Disney paying more in taxes, but it's not Disney that is going to pay that. It is the people that live in the area whose taxes are going to go up when Disney no longer has, the incentive to cover the cost of road repairs, etc.
It really should be Disney footing the bill for all that. And I always had an issue with Disney having like their own police force and stuff like that. Anyway, but so I've always been on both sides of this.
Yeah, like Disney paying more taxes, I'm fine with. I don't like them having a police force. Like, I don't care if they want to have their own hospital or school, like, whatever. I mean, it's not ideal, but there are worse things. And, I don't care that, like, they were the ones maintaining the roads, because, again, that's fine. If Disney wants to pay to maintain those, I don't care. But the fact is Disney doesn't pay enough in taxes, and they've been playing both sides of the issue in state politics and supporting politicians that want to strip rights away from women and queer people, and it is really shitty.
I do know that the people on the right do think Disney is being barred somehow from where basically the city around is paying for it. They think that was a cut, so that's not happening.
I mean, Republican voters in this state are not very well informed, and it's even worse in other states where you have people that they're jumping off the Trump train to, hitch their wagon to DeSantis thinking that he's so great.
Yeah.
Which is horrifying to me because that man is a fucking Trumpist, Nixon-like wannabe dictator.
Yep.
He will use the power of the state government to go after his enemies and to enrich his friends. He's been doing it since he was elected, and it's just going to get worse.
That basically just described every Republican.
You're not wrong, but he's a lot more blatant about it.
Yeah.
Are we ending this thing?
Yeah, we're coming pretty darn close. And let me just say, okay, in that particular sense, to everyone, let me get this up here. I say, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.